Productive human.
And we are back.
Hello.
Awesome.
Hi.
So,
Hello again.
What's up, gamers?
Doing it.
Non-gendered.
Doing it.
Yeah, folks. Gamer folks.
Doing it.
Nerd folks.
How
many did we say? 24, 27?
Ooh.
27.
Ooh. I have just put us. I went on our Twitch, and we have an advert right now.
No, it always happens before you look in.
Fuck!
That is it with everything. Yeah, I know.
It's not
I know.
special.
It's not
Shut
special.
that
Just not.
down. I mean,
Y'all
shots
tuned in
fired
to watch
back and
us
forth.
play
It's-
games.
yeah.
We're all honest here.
Once the ad finishes,
We don't lie to
you
each
catch
other.
us
I've
talking
never seen
about
an
the
ad
ad.
come on before, so that was why I was excited.
Meta.
Oh, weird.
It's like
They always come
Talking
on
Dead
one.
without the abuse.
I don't know. Maybe I was just lucky beforehand. I hope my luck is on my dice.
Hey, Jordy, what's up today?
Yeah.
Ah.
Tell us about it, Jordy.
last we left off.
What's the story before I lose us another sponsor?
Last we left off, the party had made their way out from the village of Valaki. A few encounters had occurred, eventually making their way to Van Richten's tower, where they met Esmeralda Davenier, a vampire hunter of sorts, the protege of Rudolf Van Richten, a legendary vampire hunter from beyond the realms of Barovia, having come to slay Strahd. With her assistance, we're able to repel a series of werewolves, eventually fighting your way into their den, slaying all the wolves within, and being left with a total of 8 children. Some of which you knew were from the local village of Kresk, roughly a day, maybe a day and a half's travel away, and then the other children either not knowing where they were from or staying in places that were outside of the lands of Barovia. But your party had decided that the kids were all going to go to Kresk, where they could drop off, at least hopefully be taken care of there while you completed your eventual journey to the Amber Temple. So, we pick
Also,
up...
I died.
Also,
Oh.
I like how you just glossed over that.
Yeah.
And there's one of the diamond back. But anyway.
Yada yada yada.
Yeah.
We got the kids.
That was so great.
Yeah, there was a series of very unfortunate rolls where Amanda was peeking around my screen, couldn't help but just be like, son of a bitch, because they were all correct.
His dice tray is like right beside. I cannot see
It's
it.
low
Yeah.
too.
It's low, it's easy to see, so, but you did see the natural 20 and the 19.
There's a joke in
You
there.
hit me 7 out of 8 rolls
Yep.
in a row.
Pack tactics.
Yeah.
It's a thing. Advantage on every roll. Natural 20s. All
But I feel like I
right.
learned a lot. I
You
learned
did.
a lot as a
You
player
learned
and
that
as a
Elethe is not
character.
a tank.
I knew that, but I
But
kind of
this
fooled
just
myself into
reinforced
thinking
it.
that I could get into melee because I only had 1 silver sword.
Yeah. What else were you going to do?
We also
Apparently not die.
took Kiro's head.
Oh yeah, we did do that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
like
took Hero's
Hero's
head.
Factory.
You
I
took the bag
also
of holding.
hacked
Yep.
his body
Yep.
apart.
You hacked his
in
body
anger.
apart and stripped some of it. You did make your way back to the tower, realizing that it was a bit too late in the day to make the journey, so you decided to sleep overnight, the kids on the floor, all of you laying out bedrolls for everyone. We awake the following morning, caravan available to you, Casimir coming down from the 4th floor bed, and Perky, what is it you would like to do?
How are you feeling?
Pretty rough still, but you know, better. I think. Thank you. I mean, I think I'm.
Everything's still there?
Oh, seems to be.
Oh, okay.
Would I like? I wouldn't have seen anybody from the other side, right? I was like in kind of an in between.
It was a very brief one. For you passing over, it was more so seeing all of the attacks coming in and seeing the wolves coming down with claws and teeth just tearing into your skin and ripping off parts, and eventually just kind of your vision fading to a dark gray and then to an eventual black, and it just kind of became misty, and you kind of felt trapped, which, given the nature of Barovia, makes sense. Your soul unable to pass truly through to the other side, but eventually returning into yourself, you didn't see anything beyond the mists.
Okay. And do I have scars? Physical ones?
You do have a
Entirely.
series of scars.
Yeah.
Some of the healing
So
from
cool.
Leaf and from Hope did manage to abate some of those. You do have a few of them that are on your shoulders, specifically of the claw marks. That will heal over time, but definitely will be a reminder of what happened.
And the scars that will never heal.
The mental scars.
Can I take a... how's, anyone notice anything? Feeling a little hairier? Something after last night?
I feel great.
Just a reminder, you are still inside the tower.
Okay. That would okay.
But they were still magicked when they were attacking the door.
Yeah, the werewolf stuff would still be. Yeah, no, I'm not gonna fix anything right
okay.
now.
Yeah.
I'm just making sure that. no, sorry.
Yeah, you're making sure they're still afflicted.
Sorry, can I just meta reminder? Did we all talk about lycanthropy, or is that something that you know that we don't currently know at this point?
We talked to her.
So
Yeah.
so she had explained,
Yeah.
Wisconsin had explained that lycanthropy is a curse. It is something that is bestowed upon people through bites, and if their body is strong enough to resist it or not.
Yeah. So for everyone watching at home, raise your hands if you're infected with lycanthropy.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, if you
technically
think
you
you're
died.
infected with
Yeah.
Yeah.
You died. Would that like
Yeah, but like my
release
body
a curse of
got savaged.
Right.
By-
So
When
by
I,
them.
Can we not talk about curses, please?
right.
we're the only ones that are cursed.
That's right.
Well, there's still a long way to go in this.
Time to
adventure.
load
Sure
up.
is.
Let's go.
I have a very weird attraction to bones, but that's about it.
Tell us
Time
more
to
about your
go.
attraction to
Oh.
bones. That was the opposite reaction.
So,
Oh,
Leaf, you would know based on the descriptions, based on everything that had been told from Wisconsin and looking at them. This is a medical thing. It is treatable, but it is truly a curse. So there is an ability for you to remove
yeah.
it.
Would I know how quickly it sets in, or whether or not like?
It's one of the things that sets in very quickly. It would set in within a matter of days, maybe. That the effects would really start to become more clear and more prominent.
Okay.
And then the actual curse itself would begin to take hold potentially over the coming weeks.
Okay.
Based on the nature of lycanthropy, you would assume probably something to do with the moon.
Okay.
But
Sounds good.
However, the moon was full the night before we attacked the
Yeah.
wolves, so we do have a good bit
We
of
got a
month
lot of
to deal
time.
with it.
Time
If
enough
we're
that it might
thinking-
be cool to turn into a werewolf.
Well,
We'll leave
if
that
you
to
think
the
you're-
individual to choose.
You're able to
yeah, I
help in
think
the
I think
situation.
I might be able to fix something. But if you guys, if you want to be werewolves, it's
Don't
up
want
to
to be
you.
one of those fucking creatures.
Yeah, I'd
No.
rather not
Kind
study
of my
my.
thing to not have hair.
Fair enough. Just
a little bit of
understand.
extra peach fuzz appears on Laura's head this morning.
Oh my god.
Just figured I'd check before.
Just pulling this Tim Allen from the Santa Claus and just.
Oh dear.
All right.
Cool.
I think
Sure,
we
yeah.
should return the kids to Krisk.
I think that's our first order of business.
Yeah,
Let's
maybe.
load up and collect some rewards.
Leaf, do you
Yeah.
need supplies for anything that's going to help us with this curse?
I'll think real hard about that and get back to you.
Right.
Do we know how long it takes for it to go to effect?
And I'll
Probably
relay,
longer for some than others.
I'll say I'll relay what Jordy just said to y'all.
Yeah.
So, like, I think we've got a few days maybe for it to really set in.
Leaf, do we have the diamond that you used to help bring a leaf back? Do you have another one? Do we need to find another one if
Probably
we
wouldn't hurt.
were to
Yeah,
have it?
Did anybody take any from that cave?
Were there?
Well, yeah.
His big back.
Did you not see me take everything that was in there?
I believe
don't know
there
why you
were
guys didn't want to
diamonds.
leave it, honestly. I mean, you're in the realm of
Yeah, how
money.
was your sleep, by the way?
I slept like a baby.
Good to know.
Yeah. It's a bit pointy. There's lots of gold things pointing at me, but other than that...
Well, Les, would you be willing to give a diamond or two to Leaf?
Does it have to be a specific?
Were there diamonds, though?
There was 3 diamonds. Very
Okay.
big, shiny ones.
What were they worth?
They weren't worth nothing.
They were worth 50 gold each up there.
We'll figure that out. We'll
What?
cross that bridge when
Yeah,
we
no.
get to it.
Nope. They were 100 gold pieces each.
Oh boy!
So that'd be enough for
For one revival.
one pop.
One bringy backy from the deady.
Well, let's get going to Crest. Daylight's burning.
Agreed.
Yeah,
Did we
well,
see anything? Did anyone see anything strange last night?
No.
it was open.
I wasn't able to keep watch.
Strahd knows that we were here, so
But no one
didn't-
saw him or any of his creatures.
we kept
yeah.
watch, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
but
Those
didn't,
were
I
the
didn't
last
see
things we
anything.
talked about. Crap.
We
Fell
took
asleep.
turns.
Okay.
I don't believe we saw anything during watch. Did we?
Okay.
Okay.
Saw less
Nothing in
rolling around
particular,
down there. And really,
All right. Well, let's head out. Let's get the kids up on the ones we can up on Cinnamon. If you're okay with them.
Absolutely.
Wouldn't they fit in the wagon?
Yes.
Would all of the kids fit in the wagon?
In the wagon?
Actually, if we're taking the wagon, Cinnamon has to pull
You're
it,
the one
and most of
carrying
us
it,
have to
yeah.
walk. Especially if
Okay.
the children are riding inside.
I mean, we
So-
could fit them in the wagon and then be on the outside.
Yeah.
And Casimir as well.
The wagon, I believe, holds 6, right?
Yeah, 6 adults.
6
so.
adults, and then the 2 people who were able to drive. So, but that was also with 2 horses at the reins. Cinnamon as a war horse is definitely strong, probably not strong enough to do all of that with 8 kids. You would imagine you could maybe go down to 2, maybe 3 of you with all the kids in there, 2 people driving, and then a couple people would help.
Oh, that's
Oh, yeah.
that's more than enough space
Yeah,
for us all.
absolutely.
Yeah, I can walk for sure.
Leaf, you're pretty big. You how you pulling things?
Well,
Is Lever new or hers?
Doctor.
What?
what am I pulling?
Well, there's a wagon over there.
Well,
It might show Casimir you're really strong and cool.
that would be true.
There is also Casimir, of course,
Yeah.
as well.
Oh, that's
Like,
fine.
I
He'd
just think
probably
it's going to
be
be a little
really
bit slow
impressed.
going today.
if we leave the children, what happened to the accent? We leave the children inside the wagon, and most of us walk. We'll make faster pace. We let them ride.
Are you going to be on the outside as well?
I think I'm feeling fit enough to keep.
All right, I'll be on point where you are.
Should we
Why?
ask if? Should we see if Casimir wants to be inside or outside? But if he's inside, should we perhaps have one of us in there alongside him? Because he said he didn't really care too much about the children.
It's not a bad idea. Who's light?
Let's
Little.
make him walk. Why does he get to ride? If we've got 8 kids that have been kept in a
He
cage
did
for.
leave his home behind to show us where the
Dainty
Amber
old-
We're
Temple
walking
is.
too. I don't see
He's
why
pretty
he can't
squishy.
walk.
He's very defensible. He doesn't have skills like the rest of us.
Well, like get him to walk beside the wagon.
He's like standing right there.
Casimir.
He's up on the 4th floor.
But he said more times than once that he'd rather stay somewhere that's defensible. I have no problem with letting him
Yes,
inside.
Miss
I'd rather
Archer,
keep an
yeah.
eye out myself. And
He's also very clearly a dusk elf, and if we're entering a human city, they might not be super keen on that.
Well, once we get to the city, that's a different story. We'll figure out that situation. But I think getting there, the kids need to ride.
Why don't we
okay,
talk
how
it
many
over
seats
with-
do we have inside if we have all the 8 children inside the wagon?
So it's 2 long planks.
Yeah.
With all the kids inside, you'd be able to fit maybe 2 more people in there.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So that's fine.
But you said that we couldn't have all the kids in there because.
No, we could.
No,
Cinnamon.
you couldn't have all of you
Kids.
and the
Oh,
wagon. You could either have
okay.
all the
So,
kids and 2 of you with
I
2
say
people
let's let
driving. So then that
Casimir
would
inside,
mean 3
and
people
then
will have to walk.
one more person if they
Okay.
want to.
Because it's the 6
Yeah.
of you and Casimir.
Okay.
So 7.
Does it matter which one of us
Adults.
occupies the last seat? Like if it was Leaf, it doesn't matter.
It's up to you. It's entirely up to you. Whoever you want to
Okay.
be inside the wagon versus outside.
Leaf
and
and
who's-
Casimir.
and
He
who's
would probably
driving?
be really impressed.
Hope, are
because
you
you're
able to
very
drive
strong.
because you're able to communicate with Cinnamon?
Yeah, probably the best.
Yeah, I can certainly drive.
Okay. So Hope driving, who's in shotgun.
Who wants?
I'll take shotgun.
Okay. Dr.
Oh.
Shotgun, and then who's the
Nice
person
to
in the
have
back
you, Doc.
with Casimir.
Guess that's gonna be me.
I
Alright.
thought.
Nice.
Oh, I thought Elethe was going to.
So
I'm
you
alright.
said-
I'm
Oh,
alright
you
today.
said Leaf. I
I'd
thought you
honestly
said
rather
Leaf.
be out in the fresh air than inside
I
the
don't-
wagon full of children.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah.
Leaf's good with children.
He can tell stories.
They can tell him
Oh,
stories.
that's true.
About the fun guy, Gus.
That's true.
Guy.
The fun
The
guy,
fun one.
the fun Gus.
I think I already told that one last night. They were really receptive.
All right.
And how else? So Allura and Les, are you tailing the wagon, or are you gonna walk in front, or a leaf?
I'm going to be right by Elethe.
I think we should go behind and make sure nothing's trying to sneak up on us from this woods.
So
Alright.
I'll go kind of like off to the side of Cinnamon, walking the front side.
Yeah, you can
Not
easily
in
be
front, but like.
holding reins or just beside
Sure.
if you want. Alright. So, making your way, heading out from the tower after a.
Sorry, side note, I'm going to be very, very close to Elethe the whole time.
Got it.
Like,
Oh, boy.
I'm gonna turn to Casimir. Think something's going on over there.
God, it's so gross how those two hang out. Hey, could we hang out maybe?
So, breaking south, eventually leaving the tower. Rather fateful, now 3 days that have been spent there. 2 full days and then the morning of the 3rd. You eventually make your way back through the forest, meeting up with the main road. Kind of the, traveled but definitely not well so path through the forest.
Can I just, as a note, have Rick kind of out about 50, 60 feet in front of the wagon, keeping an eye?
Of course. Cool. So he's flying, keeping you appraised of anything that's going on, but
Just let me be aware.
Fuck with this music.
It's spooky.
some sounds off in the woods, a couple of wolf howls, but nothing too out of the ordinary for what you've seen in Barovia. The journey overall back to the main strip has no real interest. It's kind of a boring, slow, sauntering pace. Travel for another few miles, eventually now having merged back up with that, and coming through to a slight break in the road. You eventually see that there is a path that sharply diverts due south from where you are, and then the path that continues on in the direction that you're moving, another one due west. No signposts are currently visible to you.
Is there a window into the back of the wagon?
The wagon has no windows.
Okay, right. Oh, right.
I'm like
Specifically
poking.
needed with no windows.
So,
Yeah, who's navigating this route?
Whoever's steering.
Hope and I.
You know where you're going?
The doctor and over. You three up front.
What's the map say?
So we went back to the tower and then went back the same route that we went.
So you were at the tower. You
Yeah.
went due south from the tower.
Yeah.
And then continued further. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're at.
This first.
So you've merged up with the road, and you're at that first little T.
Okay. Well, we have this map, so I'm gonna.
Yeah.
We can see where Kresk is, so we're gonna go. Continue, not turning
Going
left
straight?
to the south. We're gonna go straight. On
Okay.
So continuing west.
Okay.
So coming upon another set of crossroads after about another quarter mile or so, a weather-worn signpost is visible next to the road with three arms pointing along the three branches of the trail. Excuse me. The arm to the north reads Kresk, and through the woods you can see an arching stone bridge spanning the wide river. The arm pointing east reads Valaki, back the way you came, and the road slopes gradually back up. The last one, pointing southwest, reads the Wizard of Wines, with the road gently sloping downwards further into the forest.
That's where Danica got her wine from. It's the winery, I believe.
We can arrange a tour.
I
When we're
mean-
done in Kresk.
We probably don't want to get so backtracked that we get off course from the.
I'm gonna turn to Caster and say, "Hey, Caster, you like drinking at all?"
Oh my god.
It has been some time since I've had these, but I would not be opposed to having a drink.
Ah,
Whoa,
waka
that'd be
waka.
fun.
My people have been fans of wine, ale, basically anything that makes us forget.
Yeah, me too.
I think we just keep going to Kresk for now.
I agree. Let's stick
Primary-
to the path.
we need to get rid of our.
Perhaps once we've been to the
Extra.
Amber Temple, we could go visit the wine, have a wine day.
That sounds fun.
Wine country.
Wine
Yes.
Wednesday.
Beach day, winery tour.
Barovia's so nice.
We're a bunch of 45-year-old white ladies named Pam.
Gail, come here.
Karen, let's go.
Do you want the Chardonnay or the Pinot Grigio?
Is
I
it
like
an
white.
unoaked Chardonnay?
I can taste it. It is unoaked.
Great tannins on this bit.
I enjoy the blend. Shut up, Carla.
Nobody likes you, Carla.
Continuing on to Chris.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oi.
For now.
As you begin to step over the bridge, mist rising up from the water far below,
Oh, fuck.
a lone figure becomes visible through the ever-present fog
Cool.
on the other side. Walking towards you from the opposite side of the bridge, stepping with the stride and bearing of one who kind of knows no fear, really. The figure is clad in rusty armor, clutches a gleaming longsword in a single pale hand, dragging its blade across the ground, though the gait of its walk is slow, weary, but with purpose. It begins to step onto the bridge. And you're currently on the other side, about 60, 70 feet away.
I'm gonna immediately stop Elethe.
I got it.
Like,
Doctor, do we say
So
hello?
you don't actually know because you two are at the
Yeah.
back of the wagon.
oh, we can't
So
see it
it's-
from here?
No.
No.
Oh, okay.
You're at the back of the wagon watching
We're keeping
behind
an
you.
eye out,
It's
yeah.
you two and Allura up front. You're the ones
So
who see
should we stop?
Hope, stop the wagon.
Stop the
Let's find
wagon.
out.
So you two kind of stepping backwards, you hear the wheels come to a halt and bump into the back of the wagon.
Oh.
Does the figure move at all?
Continues walking towards you,
Okay.
slowly.
Should we say hi?
We'll say hi as we pass him.
What's going on up there?
There's
Out of
a
the way.
person.
Yeah, just a
There's a
guy.
person in armor dragging a sword.
Does Rick have any concept of, like, because Rick's ahead of us a bit. He would have seen him.
Rick didn't actually see him because of the fog.
Oh, okay.
The fog, he tried to stay as low as he could without
Yeah.
being seen and visible
Okay.
still, but Rick wasn't really looking at that specifically,
Okay.
and he just kind of alerted you at about the same distance that you would be able to see the
Okay.
figure.
I think we just keep moving. We don't show him threat, then he probably won't show us. And if he does, we'll just eliminate him with firepower.
Doctor, I don't think that's necessarily the best route.
Yeah, this it seems, I'm guessing this figure is a guardian of this bridge or something along those lines.
Well, if we show
I
him
don't
we
trust-
mean no fear, or we mean no harm, then we should be okay.
Should we perhaps communicate?
Absolutely.
Oi!
Oh no.
And the figure
Wes,
just
what the hell are you
continues
yelling
walking towards you, just dragging the sword across the ground, kind of head bowed, a little low.
So we can't see what they look like because of the mist.
The mist is fairly thick. You can see the rusty armor. You can see that there's a helmet that's fully pulled down over the head, just two eye slits and then a central kind of mouth slit.
at? The guy from
Can we
Dark
see anything through the eye slits?
Go ahead and make a perception check.
Souls.
Hey, hey, hey,
First
hey,
blood.
hey.
He's gone hollow.
It's gonna be a natural 9. But I have the perception, so 16.
Stepping out on the bridge, at this distance, it's tough to really make out specific features, but you begin to hear slight muttering, and Rick kind of gets a little bit of this as well. Kind of broken speech as it begins to walk further forward, and you just start hearing, fight, kill, eyes, ears, avenge the fallen.
Boys, this person's muttering about killing people, so
Oh, we mutter
don't-
about killing people all the time.
I mean, but in a uncontrolled kind of way.
What if we just, like, went on the other sides of the forest and just let him walk past us?
I mean, there's a river that we've got to cross.
We have to cross this bridge.
But he's coming towards us. Is he walking or is he, like, defending?
He's walking.
He doesn't seem to
Can
be
we-
attacking.
Hello. Are you okay over there?
We'll like scooches back behind
And
the wagon a
the
little
figure
bit.
just continues to walk. You can see that the head kind of raises slightly and just cocks a little to the side.
It starts running
And
on my
begins to just
screen.
continue walking forward, same pace, no difference.
Do they look like they might be undead?
Tough to tell at this distance.
Do you?
Very gaunt, very pale, potentially undead.
We are enemies of Strahd.
Oh boy.
Oh god, that's
And you
not
just
a good
hear
thing to say.
you've got the head cocked to one side that's kind of looked back down, and then it just now pauses and stops kind of in the center of the bridge.
Doctor, could you take over from now?
Probably
I
wise.
don't know what else to say.
Shit, that was my opener.
Can I hold a hand axe? How far is it from us, by the way?
That's how hope starts
This
every
one,
party.
it's about 40 feet or so.
40 feet.
You stopped at the entrance of the bridge. It's made it just a little under halfway.
Can I hold an action for the hand axe? And, like the minute it does anything aggressive?
Yeah, aggressive. Sure. Throw the hand axe.
Yeah.
Sure.
What?
I'm gonna hop down off the wagon
Yep.
and step in front of Cinnamon and put out my hand. Hail, traveler!
Yes. Good opener.
Head's just kind of cocked off to the side, and the sword that was dragging across the ground has kind of been, just now is being held like point down into the stone, but in a non-abrasive fashion.
Mhm.
Just kind of.
Where do you hail from? Argenvostold.
What's that backward?
I don't speak backward.
Do I understand what he's saying?
Is,
You
yeah,
understand what he's saying?
is it a language?
Like what language would it be?
You heard the figure speaking common.
Mm-hmm.
You would guess maybe it's a place.
Yeah.
I'm not
We
sure.
did actually
guess
ask
not.
where he's from.
Argenvostold?
Argenvostold.
Argenvostold.
Boss hunt?
Lost Holt.
I'm spelling that one phonetically.
We seek passage into the village of Kreesk.
Enemies of the devil may pass.
We certainly are his fucking enemies.
Thank you.
Thank you, friend.
What is your name?
My name. I do not know.
Your land, is it far from here? Are you seeking to go back?
He kind of takes his sword and into the stone of the bridge, drives it straight into one of the cracks,
Cool.
and then just kind of raises a hand. You can see at this point that the hand and the arm that he raises is very withered. It looks like there's skin kind of falling off it slightly, but definitely still corporeal. And he just kind of points back the way you came along the road, and then kind of gestures a little bit further south.
The order.
You must find the order.
Are they the way that you're pointing? That's where they are? Alright, just checking.
Do you require help?
And he pulls the blade
that's
from that.
probably
and kind of
true.
Taps it against the ground and begins to let the blade drag a little as he begins to walk further forward.
Safe travels, friend.
Would I remember anything with my research into the undead as my favorite enemy about what this could be, like some kind of guardian who's been put here or somebody who's...
Make a history check.
Okay. Wait, what do I get for that? Sorry. I got advantage on intelligence checks, I think,
Yep.
for favorite enemy.
Yes, you.
Finally get to use something for fucking favorite enemy.
Hey.
Yay!
Yeah, alright.
By the way, I picked beasts as my new one that I
I
get as
bet.
well.
Ew.
Sounds like a pretty
Yeah,
good idea.
and mountains, because I was like, okay, it makes sense for where we've been.
Favorite enemy, mountains.
I'd like
Hate
to,
those
while
mountains.
we're kind of deciding
Fuck
what's going
off,
on,
the
I'm
rock.
gonna just take a
5
look
and
at
6.
the bridge itself
Great.
to see if there's any like markings or any like thing that doesn't look
Sure. Make a perception check.
5 and 6 with no bonus.
Six.
So
like
6.
specifically looking.
Yeah, no.
That's
to
a
tell.
natural one.
Tough to tell. Looking at it a little bit closer now that it's a little bit closer to you and you kind of stepped out and really presented yourself, it is definitively undead. You can at least get that much. But beyond that, it's very difficult to tell. Usually the undead, though, in this manner, don't have full sets of armor, don't actually carry weapons. So it's not a skeleton or a zombie, and it clearly has some kind of remnants of intelligence. That's about all you can get.
Can I ask it? What are you protecting?
I protect the people. And he's still just walking forward at this point, just kind of muttering as his head is hanging.
I think we keep moving, friends.
Yeah,
You're
Let's
right.
not
you
push our luck.
He
Yeah,
said
we've
he was.
already got
We were
moving
good to
from
go.
him. He seems cool.
Okay.
Okay. So he's walking down the center of the road. So do you pull the wagon off to the side?
Yeah, let's pull
Yeah.
off and just let him pass.
So as he passes by you, he just kind of like cranes his head over, and you can actually see now, like right up beside you, that his neck is mostly bone. There are scraps of skin there, but it is very decrepit. But he kind of cranes his neck over, and you just hear the of all the bones
You want me to
cracking.
get the follies up?
Oh.
Find Vladimir. Convince him.
Sorry, did you just say convince him?
The devil must pay. The devil must die.
Yes, he must.
He begins now to kind of walk again further forwards, continuing down the path from which you came.
Very good. Back on the road. We made a new friend, guys. Oh, Boney.
Hanging out with
It's
our
Vladimir.
Vladimir, do we know that name? Have we heard
I ain't heard
of
of
anyone?
Vladimir.
Vladimir.
Vlad. I don't think it was anyone we met in Valaki. I'm trying to think of what was the name of Lady Walkter's husband,
That was Nikolai.
Nikolai.
Yeah, I can't recall Vladimir.
Would I have seen any of this? I'm sitting in the back. of the
You're
car.
hanging out.
You would have just heard them talking and heard a like very, very faint. And right up until beside the wagon, both you and Casimir would have heard Vladimir, help, the devil must die, must pay, the devil must die.
Sounds like they've got that figured out. Just hanging out.
Onward and upward.
While looking at the bridge, I tripped over my own feet and face planted into the dirt.
Okay, good to know.
Oh, so we're doing a bit over there.
So,
Ooh, doing a les.
Yeah.
I don't trip.
so beginning to step onto the bridge, all you kind of a little apprehensive, like, you know, seeing a armor-clad figure carrying a long sword, standing a little over 6 feet tall, walking towards you, kind of puts anybody on edge. But you manage to begin your way across the bridge, and eventually continuing on, further following the road to the west. You see it meander for a little more than a mile before it plunges into a heavy, thick fog. But eventually the road branches north and climbs to a rocky escarpment, ending in a gatehouse built into about a 20-foot high wall of stone reinforced with buttresses every 40 to 50 feet. Fairly similar to Velaki, but definitely a little on the smaller side.
Before we get up there, I just want to hop up to the top of the wagon. I assume it's a hard top.
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah, barrel top.
Cool.
Go right through.
I mean, whoop. Sorry, kids. I'm a go. I am going to pull the head of Kirill out of the bag and tie it to the top of the wagon.
Oh, hood ornament. Yeah, boy.
Should
That's my head.
Allura, I don't know if perhaps you should take over the reins before we
I don't
fully
mind
go
doing
in.
that. Yeah.
I don't know if they're going to.
Yeah, I think just being
like my folk.
Hoods
you know,
up,
being
guys.
careful
Oi.
of those of us who look
Okay.
different.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Which is almost all of us.
I
Maybe
don't
they'll be
have a
welcome.
hood.
Should have gotten cool
You
hats.
do. We got you a special cloak.
Oh, right.
Remember your fancy cloak?
He's like wearing it right now.
I don't have a cloak.
Goodness.
Here it is.
Because it's full of gold coins, Les. You still have one.
I guess so.
It's just dragging across the ground. Pockets are stretched out from all the
I'm
coins.
going to. I'm gonna pop inside and let Leaf know that what we're doing.
Yeah, I think actually a good idea
We
would
should
be
get the children
Doc
out.
maybe get off and walk, and let's have one of the kids come up and sit.
Okay, yeah, that
Yeah.
makes
One of
sense.
the kids
Yeah.
who are from here.
Yes.
Not the
Yes.
one from
They
the
have
Sword
clothes
Coast.
on now, right?
Yeah, we gave them clothes.
Okay, good.
Look,
Give
it's
them
a
clothes
lovely
and rations
human
and bedrolls.
woman with a lovely
Clothes are a little
human kid.
oversized, but you know,
Yeah,
not the worst
that's
thing in
fine.
the world.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
I'll lead the party.
Okay.
So who's driving the wagon? You are. Okay. And then you are.
I'm walking ahead of it.
I'll
Okay.
sit up there with you, but with my cloak pulled over my.
No, we got a kid
Oh,
up
we
here.
were gonna
Oh, yeah,
pull one
kid
of the
You should
kids
have,
off
like,
and
I
have
mean,
you guys.
It's like, you know.
A kid could sit on your lap.
lap.
Oh.
Elite is not into that.
Child free.
Neither is
Kind of looks
Alira.
over at you and just kind of like begins to crawl up on your lap.
Oh,
Baby
God.
Sirius clothes again.
Just
I
like
am
old
trying to
times.
drive this cart. The daddy wagon can't drive itself.
I swear to God, I'm gonna turn this thing around if you don't act.
It's this little girl who like sees you holding the reins and just kind of like reaches up and holds onto the reins.
Oh. Allura, be nice to. What's your name, honey?
Allison?
Be nice to Allison, Allura.
I was being nice.
And yeah, I passed on Leaf.
Leaf, we're doing a little switcheroo so that when we enter the city or the town, we're not going to be as ostracized.
Oh, man.
But although the doctor did put
Are you disguised as a human?
Thingy's head. What's
I look
his
like a
name?
human with my
Thingy?
top hat.
Oh, Kirill.
Kirill's head on the wagon.
Yeah,
Well,
because we
maybe
killed him.
maybe they'll be more welcoming. People look different here.
Yeah.
Who
Okay.
knows?
Just to give you a heads up, Leaf.
Fair enough.
Casimir, also, just to let you know, if you feel more comfortable having your hood drawn.
Wait.
Uh-oh.
Where are you?
Let's
Yeah.
not burn anything.
Look,
Hmm?
look. No one did any of that.
Allegedly.
Nothing was proven. We're keeping moving. I'm moving towards the
Unless
gate.
they really deserve it. Anyway, let's
Thank
go.
you, Elise.
Let's go see what's in this town. Sinner
Forward.
in, sinner out.
Let's just get in and out.
Alright.
Or just stay there for the rest of the campaign.
So,
Start our farm.
looking out over the wall, you see that it encloses a fairly large settlement on the side of a snow-dusted mountain spur. Beyond the wall, you see the tops of snow-covered pines and thin wisps of white smoke emanating from some of the buildings. Somber toll of a bell rings out over a stone abbey that clings to the mountainside high above the settlement. The steady chime is inviting, a welcome change from the deathly silence and oppressive fog to which you've grown rather accustomed. It's hard to tell at this distance, but there seems to be a switchback road built into the side of the cliffs that lead up from the walled settlement to the abbey, still far off in the distance.
Maybe St. Markovius?
Oh, maybe. That could be worth looking into.
Making your way down the path, You notice that the air grows progressively colder as you approach the walled settlement. 2 square towers with peak roofs flank a stone archway, into which is set a pair of 12-foot-tall iron-bound wooden doors. Carved into the stone arch above the door is a single word: Kresk. The walls that extend from the gatehouse are 20 feet high, and atop the parapet you see 4 figures wearing fur hats and clutching spears, and all of you are starting to notice that it is definitively cold at this point.
Luckily,
Each
I've got
figure
my
has
fancy
both
cloak
hands
on.
tightly gripped on their spears and watch you a little nervously as you approach. You also notice that each of the 2 flanking structures have small arrow slits on each of them.
Okay.
So that they're hollow from the inside and they'd have archers on the inside.
Probably.
Yeah.
Given everything you've seen, logical deduction.
Okay.
Plan.
Are they within like ear? Or is there a guard at the base, or is it just up top?
Only up top.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a wooden door in comparison to Velaki, where it was the iron gates that you could see through. These ones, the only guards are at top, and everything from the other side is completely wall-locked.
I'm just gonna call it. Hail, friends! We are travelers. We've brought children who've been lost from Kresk.
You can see them kind of turn to one another and shout down a little bit. And kind of pull back up.
Stand up. No, I'm gonna like stand on the seat beside me.
Child!
Well,
Look.
she would have been like
We
wrapped
found
in
this.
my coat because it was cold. I would have been like, stand up.
Get up,
Also,
kid.
She kind of like stands up and
remind
like waves a little at one of the guards.
reminder: any friendly creatures within 30 feet of me are immune to the effects of extreme cold.
Yeah, extreme cold. You can still get cold, but you won't take
damage.
Just to
damage
remember,
or
stay
anything
within
like that.
30 feet of
I've
me.
got my nice fur-lined boots.
I got a fancy cloak,
Actually,
so I'm all
did I
right.
get enough
chicken.
scraps of
And
the
a fancy
hide
beaver
of
fur
Carol
hat.
to like make some like wolf skin?
Oh,
Maybe
I
like
think
gloves
you
or something?
destroyed it in anger, though, didn't you?
Yeah, because of everything that you were you got some pieces that you could maybe fashion into like parts of a cloak, but you wouldn't be able to make.
Oh, I said like fingerless gloves.
If you
Oh,
get
fingerless gloves? Yeah, potentially. You just have to get somebody to actually craft it for you.
like a ghillie suit.
While this is going on, I want to stand like in front of Elethe in like a defensive, not like a spear out, but just like
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Stand
Arms
down.
crossed. Adopting the Allura onto Elethe.
I've been learning.
Doing the lean. And you can see that the guards up top kind of debating amongst themselves a little bit. And then you just hear one of them turn over his shoulder and just... Get Dimitri!
Allison, can you go get the other kids?
Yeah. She ducks into the back and all the kids kind of start piling out. 5 of them, her plus 4, specifically are very excited to get out. 3 of them are a little bit apprehensive. You would imagine probably those are the 3 kids who are not from Kresk.
Our new
Those
mascot.
kids are all 100% human though, are they? Or are they any different races?
Oh, they're all human.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, not. I wouldn't know if they're 100% human, but like they're not obviously half elves or something.
No,
alignment.
they're all
Yeah.
they're all fairly obviously human.
Okay.
There's no fruit.
Teddy seems like a dick.
And you said Dimitri?
We'll just wait. We'll wait for what happens.
Okay.
Yeah.
So 10, 15,
Yeah.
20
I'm
minutes
just
pass.
next to Cinnamon now, so like whereas Allura took the front seat, I've got my hood up and I'm just standing next to Cinnamon whilst we're...
Okay.
And are the children in front of the wagon?
Yeah, I imagine they're with me.
They're with you?
Yeah.
Okay. So they're all standing beside you. You can see the 5 of them are pretty excited. They're like starting to get a little giddy. And then 3 of the others are definitely in the back, like kind of, doing the shy kid thing of kind of holding their arms and not really sure what to do.
Makes you guys feel any better? I don't really do too great in towns either, but it'll be a new experience for both of us.
I'm gonna just talk to the 3 that are kind of doing the thing. Be like, here's what's gonna happen. We're gonna try and find you a place to be safe here. We're going to come back once all of this is done, once we've dealt with what we have to deal with, and we're gonna try and get you back to where you're from.
You can see at this that all 3 of them kind of perk up a little bit. Just, really? Do you mean it?
Yeah. You said you're from the Sword Coast?
So are we.
We are too. We're gonna return this place to the Sword Coast and then return you to where you're from.
No guarantees though.
Make a persuasion check with advantage.
Okay. Boy. Well, I mean, still, that's not the worst thing in the universe.
Oh.
I know that's low for me, but that's still a 13.
13? Okay. You can see it kind of helps a little bit.
Look sadder, kids.
Some kids who've
Werewolf
been
vision.
held captive by werewolves for you don't know how long, in comparison to a group of people who are definitely, to them, funny looking. But from being from the Sword Coast, they're used to seeing dark elves, they're used to seeing half elves and furbolgs a little bit. It's starting to abate, and they're kind of getting a little more calm. You can see that the restless leg syndrome has kind of stopped a little. So after 25, almost 30 minutes now, you see a new figure, a fairly large, rotund man in a very nice set of furs, kind of making his way up, and you can see him kind of being helped a little bit through the top part.
Big Daddy.
And the furs make him look quite large, but looking at his face, he's actually in, you would imagine, pretty good shape. It's probably just a series of layers that are making him look a lot larger than he is. You down there? What are these children? What have you done?
We found them in a werewolf den on the other side of Lake Baratok.
A werewolf then?
Yes. You see the trophy we have on the back of our wagon?
And he kind of looks up away from you.
That's their leader.
It was there later.
You have slain Kiro.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I did.
Shh. Not the time. He and his
Show me the
brood,
children.
they're standing in front of you.
Yeah, they're. It's more so that they're like huddled around each other for warmth, and so they kind of spawn out or fan out a little
Yep.
bit, and they kind of look up, and he just kind of appraises them. And open the gate, and you can see all the guards are kind of like instinctively, what? Okay, and you begin to hear chains being undone and very heavy locks and wooden ballasts being slid open as the doors begin to open inwards. And he's begun to make his way down and eventually reaches you and is visible on the other side of the gate.
I would have picked Allison up.
Walked in.
Character development.
As we go inside and
Well,
I'm still in front of Elethe, and I'm
More
just gonna be like,
hit cuts her heart
stick close to me. We'll be all right. We'll be all right. And as
You
we
seem
move,
to get yourself into more trouble than I do usually. Are you sure that's the safest thing for me to do?
trust me, it'll be fine. It'll be fine.
So Vladimir's like with
Think
like
of
in
the
front of
last
us
words.
now?
Dimitri.
Dimitri, I'm sorry.
That's my
Dimitri's in
sex
front of us right
voice.
now.
Yeah, the men you would
Jingle,
assume
jingle,
is Dimitri.
I'm going to extend my hand. Dimitri?
Dimitri Kreskov.
Dmitry Kreskov. My name is Dr. Amata. I'm a professional from another land. This is my traveling party.
Looking at all of you, I cannot imagine that you are from these lands.
Most certainly not.
I am the burgomaster of this village.
A good track record.
We're here!
A good track record with these guys.
It is very good to meet all of you. And I do thank you for returning these children. Their families have been, well, worried sick, puts it politely. They had all, I would imagine, had services for their children.
Now, your lordship, we also, in the caves, found 3 other children from likely where we are from.
The lands beyond ours.
Yes.
Yep.
We were hoping we could find them a place to stay, perhaps the local abbey or the church.
Or if there's families that have the ability to take on another child, we will pay for their room and keep until we can.
Allura.
I would recommend this. The abbey is not somewhere that we typically go anymore.
What would be the name of the abbey, if you don't mind my asking?
It was once the Abbey of St. Markovia.
Oh. What's happened there, if you don't mind our asking?
There was a man who went there years ago. The story is that he had offered to, what is the word? Renovate the
Fucking
I'm
yeah.
just gonna flip that Abby.
Gentrify that shit.
clean it up, make it back to what it used to be when Markovia herself was still a practicing pastor in it. But ever since he went there, anyone who went up for any service never seemed to come back down.
Interesting. Your Lordship, is there a place we might replenish our supplies, maybe get a hot meal?
Our village is far different from what you are used to. We are a communal society. We do not have shops or any real use for coin. Everything that is grown here is for the people. All of the lodgings are for the people. I am sure that we could arrange some kind of lodging if that is what you need for tonight. There is, of course, a few hours left. Any food, of course, we can do our best for that. I mean, you have returned some of my people's children. This is not
And
something.
we've rid you of the werewolves who have been
Yes, I
terrorizing.
do understand as well.
This guy's got a whole attitude.
Just
Allura's gotta get the last word in.
But I'm sure we can
Still
arrange
holding
for
this kid.
we can arrange for the things that you may require. But
Of course.
these would need to be of the most basic variety.
Of course. We don't require anything particularly fancy.
Can I walk forward and kind of like undo my hood and gauge what Dimitri's reaction and just kind of like
And
go
he kind of
towards him?
instinctively grabs his sword and then just kind of looks at the rest of you. I apologize.
We're not from here.
I could imagine
That's
this
okay.
from yourself and from the look of the others, but
What's going on?
We are friends, not foes.
make a persuasion check.
Can I assist them? Actually, no, fuck it.
No,
No,
it's
they're
an
good.
disadvantage situation,
I guess it.
so it's just a straight roll.
Persuasion?
Yep.
19.
Nice.
He just kind of looks at you and just. I apologize, it is instinct for me. Not often do we get travelers coming to our doors, and when they do, they bring nothing but trouble. You bringing our children back appears to be a slight difference to this. So, while I welcome you, and I will assist as best I can, I do ask that you do not stay here for long.
We're not
We-
military.
We have no intent to.
Oh, great. These hoods get really itchy. And I take mine down.
And he kind of looks at you. You kind of expected a similar reaction, but it's more just curiosity of why do you have a giant fishman with you?
We found him.
No.
He kind of
We-
found
We
us.
caught him.
He started following us, and well,
We prefer to be called Tritons, thank you very much.
Tridents.
That's right.
yes.
We saw a guardian on the bridge leading up to your lands
Guardian.
of some kind. A creature that
He pointed us towards an order, he said. What was the name of it again?
the order.
Organ Volstold.
Argon
So,
Volstolt.
Ring any bells with you?
Ivan Vostolt. The name is somewhat familiar. If I'm not mistaken, this was a bastion for the Order of the Silver Dragon.
Dragon.
Silver Dragon.
Yes, the Platinum Dragon, the deity. It's
Yes.
been some time since I remembered.
Yeah, does that
That's
ring
your boy.
It's Bahamut.
That's your boy.
What?
That's your boy!
Woo!
I
Excuse us.
I pray to Bahamut.
But you are not from these lands, so of course you would not know where the order is. I'm not entirely sure of its exact location. The best that I can provide you would be a guess. I know that it is somewhat southeast from here. Following back along the road to Barovia, there will be a series of branches off, past the Wizard of Wines, past the one to the Solenka Pass. There is another one that branches off far deep into the forest. That would be the one that you would have to take. I have not made the trip myself, but I'm told that there was some kind of an outpost bastion.
I'm gonna pull out the map and say,
Yeah, thanks.
we have this map.
Yes, this is it here, I believe. if I'm not mistaken.
That one?
He rolled a high fucking intelligence check.
Thank you.
Big brain on
Yeah, I was like,
fire.
Tell us
I'm
all the
surprised that we
things,
get to know all
please.
this.
I mean, I think
Natural
we should
18
investigate
plus
the
2.
abbey while we're here.
You rolled a
We
20.
got a moment.
Sweet.
In,
I think we should
is there
investigate the
anyone
abbey
in
while
your
we're
village or of your people who have any magic abilities or
Magic abilities do not exist. The best we have is a few fairly basic healers, people who are used to dealing with herbs and medicines of those type.
This seems like
are
a hard
they-
place to eke out a living.
I know. Is there anyone with the ability to make healing potions or anything of that sort?
All of our medicine takes time. There is nothing that we unfortunately can provide for this.
Weapon shops, armor.
We have no use for this except for our guards. And looking up, you can see that the guards are in pretty scrappy leather armor, very basic spears, a little almost blunted and
Amateurs.
chipped on sides.
Dimitri, what is the road like to get up to the abbey? Is it rather clear? Easy
The road
get
to
up
the
there?
abbey is clear. It has not been de-iced in some time. It may be a little rough going, but it is a very well-established road. Used to have caravans,
Of
multiple
course.
groups of people heading up. You should be able to make your way up as a group with no particular issue.
Perfect. And there would be, the guards would be all right with us, maybe just poking around a little bit. We're in the business of trying to help this land as best we can.
Make a persuasion check.
That's more like it. That's a 20. Non-natural.
Normally, I would ask any group passing through here to, well, leave as soon as possible. But given what you have done for the families of my city, if you would like to make your way up to the abbey, you have obviously proven yourselves capable at any kind of defense. I would wish you the best.
We appreciate this.
Dimitri, did you have a name for the person who came to renovate the abbey? And
The only name that we knew him as was the abbot. He came wanting to renovate and become the new pastor of the church, and ever since he went up there, no one has come back.
How long ago was that?
Several years at this
Several
point.
years.
Potentially longer, even a dozen years. The time passes in a rather odd manner here.
I understand.
Can I insight check what he's saying?
For what?
For lies?
Sure. For lies.
For life.
all.
I was like balancing it on my nose, like, am I on the nose? Am I gonna do this right? Insight 19.
19. Seems to be being pretty honest. You can see that there is a little bit of, not deceit on his face, but you can see like him holding the hands of one of the kids. He's kind of looking down at the kid and is definitely smiling, but looks almost somewhat anguished. Like there was maybe someone he was hoping to see.
That's sad.
Well,
We've actually
pretty
heard of
cool.
the Abbey before, and we heard it was a place
Disguise the king to look like
of power that perhaps would resist the devil.
It did used to be this. The Abbey was once a place of great worship. The Dawnfather, of course, the Morning Lord, one of the strongest symbols of light in these lands. But ever since those who went up for their daily prayers stopped returning, it had just become a decrepit place whose bell tolls remind us that it exists and that we can never visit it
The
again.
bell is still tolling, but no one's there.
As far as we know.
Well,
That's spooky as fuck.
shit, man. This sounds like a mystery.
The Abbey was once a
Strahd.
hospital, and a convent. It used to be where all of our sickness was treated.
A hospital.
Here we go again.
Is there anything you can tell us about,
Oh, shit.
besides the werewolves, is there anything suspicious around Crest that's been happening lately? Anything that we could use to tie into or prepare her?
We are on the edge of the lands of Barovia. If you were to continue west, you would find yourselves lost in the thick fog and devoured by his beasts. Beyond this, our village remains almost pulled out from within these lands. We see very few visitors. We are far too far west and much too cold for most of the people who live here. We exist for our lives. We live, we grow, we die, and we just continue on our lines.
Why do you stay?
Where else would we go?
Dimitri, thank you very much for your time. We'd like to do our best to try and arrange for the children not of your village and perhaps investigate the abbey.
If you would like to investigate it, of course, the guards will open the gate for you on that side, allow you to visit up, but the gate will be locked behind you, and if anything should be following you, you should have to deal with this before you are allowed back in these walls.
Of course.
Alright.
Can we return these children to their families?
Yes, of course. And he kind of reaches over, and a few of the guards that have been kind of still holding spears a little bit out, but have slowly been relaxing a little into more of defensive stance, but definitely not kind of pointy end out. They begin to disperse into the village, and over a little bit of time, you can see one of the kids who actually just begins darting off and clearly making his way back home. You can see him kind of just turn around and just give like a really big smile and just a thanks. And he ends up taking off. All the rest of them, parents.
Some say Allura's heart grew 3 sizes that day.
Some of the parents begin to slowly make their way out into the streets. Word spreading and children being returned. You can see that there are a dozen, 15 families or so that begin to make their way out. And a few families are kind of looking hopeful. And then looking at the kids and kind of seeing other parents rush forward, just tears streaming down their face and grabbing kids. And so happy. And then you can look back at the others and there's definitely smiles on their faces, but it's the no crow's feet. Definitely the sad hope that their children have been returned.
Can I still let Alice in.
She's like pushing away from you.
Let
No,
her
I
go.
know. I'll
What's
like
wrong
put
with
her
you?
down, but like, can I go to her, like her family?
Yeah, and she's run over, and she and her mom are just completely
I want to give you away.
like just distraught at being able to see each other again. Just tears everywhere.
I know you must be really happy to see Allison.
She just kind of looks at you, one who brought them home.
Yes.
She just immediately drops her daughter and just like bear hugs you in this giant
Look her
fur
arms
over
over there, take
and like
more
pulls you right
credit.
inside. You can feel like your back popping a little from the sheer amount of force.
Fair enough.
That felt good.
And it just kind of picks up her daughter and pulls her into the coat.
When we found your daughter, there was 3 other children who are not of these lands. We just want to make sure that they're taken care of for the time being. Do you know if there's any families who would be willing to take on some children?
She kind of like looks over at the 8 or 9 families that had hoped their kids would come back, and I'm sure that we'll find someone.
I'd like to pull out like 30 gold.
She just kind of looks at it.
So
I don't think you understand. Gold is of no use here. We live off the land. We share everything that we have. There is no purchasing. There is no use for us.
I don't live in this village when the world collapses.
Yeah.
Well, this is how it's done. Well, you have.
I'm not giving
You
them a
have
deed to
my
a haunted
gratitude.
windmill. Also, I like these
That was
guys.
a deep
these
cut.
kids taken care of until we can.
It's coming back. Don't worry.
We would be more than happy to do this. I'm sure that there will be families who, having lost their own loved ones,
Kind of like
Okay.
I think the doctor would be
I'll
kind of
kinda
around
scoot 'em
those
over.
kids, right? But like,
Alright, little
and you can see
fellas.
the kids are a little hesitant at first, because
fellers.
some of the parents just
Squirts.
leaning down and looking at the kids and looking at each other and just kind of and like waving at the little kids.
This one's
I
weird.
know this is
You're essentially
cutting
watching
deep
like
dirty.
you're essentially watching a real life adoption
Oh.
of these kids who've lost their parents who've lost their kids, kind of
It's too much.
slowly starting to come together, and you can see that Dimitri kind of standing off in the back, his arms behind, or his hands behind his back, and just kind of.
And I'm gonna like pop down to Allison and be like, Allison, alright, your new friends, they're gonna need you, okay?
They're not really my friends.
Dick.
Little did she know, Allison was the mean girl of the group.
On that note, she kind of like leans over into your ear and whispers into your ear.
Oh god, no.
No, I don't like this.
You're stupid and I hate you and you're poopy.
Whispers in his ear, I'm Strahd.
My God!
Surprise, bitch! It's me, Freddy. I'm in the campaign now.
My God.
What if Allison is lady
Sorry, I
gonna
just
walk
heard
there?
the thing saying that it's going to be even warmer tomorrow.
It is, yeah. It's gonna be
Yeah,
cloudy but
it's
warmer.
saying 31 degrees.
I gotta pee.
I need you to.
So
Allura stands up and like walks straight over to that kid. Jacob, tell me everything.
What the fuck?
and all of you have no idea what's happening. You just see
I'm gonna turn
Aurora,
over.
like on the verge of tears, and then just the face hardens and the eyes just grow intense, and just snaps her head over and walks over to this kid who's a little bit taller than a couple of the other kids, and you can see that some of the parents are kind of talking to him and everything like that. And you just literally grab him by the shirt and lift him off the ground.
No. I would like.
Oh.
I'm not gonna lift him. Jacob,
Knuckles.
tell me everything. What did Kirill do?
He just kind of like looks up at you and like looks around. The parents are clearly freaked out at this point, and all of them kind of back away from the kid a little because none of them know who this kid is.
Fucking Jacob.
And he just kind of
Kirill, did you get bit?
What? Kirill got bit.
I mean, Jacob, did you get bit?
no.
I'm
Is
Like, check
he
in.
lying? Is he lying?
Insight
The
check.
entire group.
Yeah, go for it. Roll an insight
With
check.
advantage?
Nope.
Because we're all.
Straight insight.
Feels the collective judgment of 8 people.
Where's my insight? 15.
15.
Clearly lying.
Clearly lying.
Leave.
Sarcasm. I'm just gonna. What's going on?
And you can see him kind of like starting to well up at this
Jacob,
point.
it's
You can see
okay.
him like holding one of his arms. Just
Jacob, I know it's really scary. But we're gonna need to cure you, okay?
you can do that.
Yeah.
Can we do this right now? I mean, we've got a.
Can we? Leave?
You
I don't
can
know
see
how
him.
it works, I know, but
Were you doing anything else today?
I mean, we're gonna look at the Abbey, but we gotta heal this kid. This is a kid.
it's a kid.
Oh, okay.
So you can see that he holds out his arm, and what you hadn't really seen, all the kids had obviously been kind of hugging their shoulders and like covering themselves a little, is that he's got a fairly prominent bite that's been set, and you can see that it's been multiple times inflicted in the same place, as if to ensure that he had been
I'm
afflicted.
gonna give him a hug.
I'm coming over and
so
I'm
pleased
like,
with
is this? Did this happen to any other children, Jacob? Is this? Were only you afflicted?
I won one of the combats.
Oof.
What the What?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
yeah.
We don't
no,
wanna
I
know what
don't.
this is.
Don't ask. That's
We need to not ask this in front
Jacob.
of
I
parents.
know this is really hard, but we can help.
Hey, buddy, I'll just let me take a look at that.
Kind of
And
like hesitantly holds out his arm.
yeah, I'll take his arm
Can I
and
assist you in any way?
I'll cast remove curse on him.
Okay. So, kind of kneeling down next to him.
Yeah.
He's, a little bit tall, probably 10, maybe 11 years old or so. Kneeling down next to him, you kind of take his arm in your hand and begin to cast remove curse. Are there any components required for it?
It's touch, and it's just yeah, I don't think so.
Just
It's
no.
a focus.
Okay. So kind of focusing on it, you can see the bite on the arm is very visible, and you kind of begin to focus on that, and as you kind of are casting it and touching over that, you're kind of running your fingers across the different like areas, and you can see that what you had seen before, that darkened blood running through Elethe and Les and Allura, begins to slowly run down the arms and run down across from his shoulder and down across his bicep to that, and it begins to be pulled out of those teeth marks as you kind of grab it in the air, and you've just got this orb of kind of floating viscous liquid as you just snuff it out, and all of it just spatters to the ground And you can see that the arm is definitely still inflicted. He's probably going to have that scar for the rest of his life. But as far as you can tell, the spell worked.
People take scars. It'll be
You just kind
your fighter.
I'm gonna stand up to like the parents. None of the rest of the kids were bitten, but if they reveal they are, next time we're here, we will cure.
and you can see that all of them are kind of standing away from the kid at this point.
Oh God.
Please chill. Don't worry about it.
I'm gonna go over to Allison's mom.
You just kind of walk over, and Allison's just hugging her mom. And they're just, are you okay? Was everything fine? Yeah, it was all good. And you can walk over again.
I know it's scary that Jacob was bit, but we need him to be taken care of. Can you make sure that happens?
Who are you saying it to?
To the mom.
She just kind of like looks over at the boy and looks at her daughter, and you can see
Don't
Allison is just kind of
worry,
looking
we
at
all
her
got
mom and looks over, and she looks pretty scared. Make a persuasion check at disadvantage. It's a bit of a journey for that die.
It'll be a 14.
14.
It's pretty good for
Just kind of-
disadvantage.
Got a +8 at persuasion.
That expertise coming in handy.
Yeah. Do you have like a thing that makes you super persuasive?
Yeah, I'm really
Knocks
good
you
at
right up
things.
against the mic. That might be.
Oh.
Sorry to break immersion.
Not that
for a second.
So the mom just kind of looks at her daughter, and you can see that there's definitely a scared face on her daughter, but kind of looking at the boy and looking at the arm. She just kind of looks up at her mom and it's like, all right, I'll do what I can.
Thank you.
If he's not cured, you know what will happen.
It just as easily could have been your daughter.
Seeing what happened to her.
I know, but it didn't. Thanks to us.
Alright. She kind of sends Allison over to go get the boy, and she kind of grabs his hand and pulls him back over to her mom, and she starts to make her way off.
All right.
Let's go investigate a haunted abbey.
Let's go look at a haunted house.
I think that we should stay here, sleep, and then go in the morning, and then we don't have to come back to this town.
I think we should look at that abbey. We got a couple hours left.
We've also got a couple hours where we could heal the rest of us who are inflicted by lycanthropy.
We have so much time.
Isn't it a one shot?
No, I got 3.
I got 3.
I got
We
Oh.
could heal a couple
2
of you.
more. I got 2
Yeah.
more.
You do see now that you've spent a little bit more time, the mist-shrouded village beyond the wall is nothing more than a scattering of humble wooden cottages. Dirt roads stretching between strands of snow-dusted pine trees. You've got the gray cliffs that are rising off to the northeast, and the road winding up to the abbey is pretty easy to see from this vantage. It is a long switchback, probably taking the better part of 30 minutes to get up top.
Cool.
What time of day is it right now?
Early afternoon.
Yeah.
Even on foot, it's not exactly a long journey, maybe 4 miles, 5 miles. You were able to clear that in a relatively short amount of time.
Let's go.
Are we
just
all
had a
full
fight.
strength?
I think that we should
We're all full
heal.
strength.
That we should heal.
I think we are.
We-
I'm
yeah,
healed up.
we're healed.
I am a werewolf.
Oh, well, maybe don't say that out loud.
But it's not going to be a
Hold
problem
on.
until the next full night.
Personally,
just
I would
walked
rather
into-
get this dealt with
Roll
now.
rolls.
Why don't we heal those of us who were bit and then go tomorrow morning, first thing,
To the abbey?
to the abbey?
Okay, well, that's fine.
And then
with
we
me.
don't have to come back to this town.
Oh, that's fine
Sure.
with me. Yeah.
Fine.
We're gonna have to tell
Fine
Casimir
with
that.
that.
We have a bunch of time. It's early. It's like 2
Yeah,
in the
but-
afternoon.
I didn't
Our
want to
cleric will be tapped out completely if we heal us.
I didn't want to just float
We can-
something. We are going to be wasted. If anything happens in this abbey, as we probably will, then that might take another day of travel out.
Exactly.
We've got that guy, Casimir, kind of wants to get going.
We should probably take care of it. I mean, you guys, look, if you guys were to say spontaneously grow a bunch of hair, not gonna happen, but just in case, just if it does, it won't happen for a little while.
If any one of us is going to be the worst off, it's probably me because I was killed by wolves.
Don't say that out there.
I'm saying this like Soto voice. I'm
Thank
quiet,
you.
being quiet.
We're all sitting in the daddy wagon right now.
I think we're just like gathered.
Team
Um,
assemble.
Leaf, if you to your like, healer's eyes, do I look like I'm about to fucking sprout some little?
Well, I'd done that. Yeah, we were.
So you
talking
did
about-
that on everybody, and you it's something that definitely takes time to take
Yeah.
hold. You're not going to notice anything for at least a week, if not longer, in terms of any physical effects. Maybe some odd dreams at best, but for the time being, you're going to be fine for at least a while.
Yeah.
So why don't we go and come back, and then Leaf can heal us when we come back.
I personally would rather get healed right now. I think that that's a much better choice. We just had a battle yesterday. Why not take today, heal up, and then go in the morning?
We're all fine though. I
I'm
mean,
not though. You're fine.
well, yeah, but you're also fine.
I think what the doctor's trying to say is it's not affecting us in a material way currently.
At all.
It's not anything that will happen in a day. It'll take like a week tops.
Although I think I can see both sides of the argument. I think what Allura is saying is that she'd feel more comfortable and confident if she knew the curse was removed and it was nothing to worry about. Am I right?
Yes.
I understand that. I just don't want to dally.
Nor do
We're
I.
not dallying.
It's
gonna be the same.
We will.
How are you feeling in terms of how much could you perform more of these kind of spells, and how many more times do you think you have that ability today?
Edit this. I think I'm pretty new at doing this stuff, and maybe twice more today.
So either way, one of us is still.
But then you wouldn't be able to do anything if we went to the Abbey.
That's
Exactly.
What
Well,
that's
if
what I'm
we
saying.
use anything,
Yeah.
but
You've also used,
Is it a
you've used
third
some
level
of your magic for today. So you are lowered in the amount of magic you can perform today. So we're going into potentially a really dangerous situation
Hold up.
with our cleric
Do you
down.
have that fancy thing?
I do have that thing. I can use that. I can gain another spell slot if we want to do that.
Do you want to use it now though, when we could just sleep and it doesn't matter?
Well,
It is-
exactly.
It's still setting us back. That's the.
At least a day, possibly two.
Yeah, probably 2 days. Realistically, this is probably going to set us back 2 days.
Then let's not go to the Abbey. Our goal right now is to go and find the Amber Doors. That is what Casimir is bringing us to do.
I mean, I'm okay with that.
I mean, we've been told to go to the Abbey of
If
St.
We
Markovia to
we thought it was going to be safer than
That was-
Valaki.
yeah.
We were told that. I
I'm glad we
remember.
didn't go with that.
No kidding.
Yeah,
But it's
I
worth
remember.
investigation at least. We're here.
If you don't want to dally, then why are we dallying up to the Abbey?
Because it's 2 PM and I got nothing to do for the day.
I think
Yeah, but
Doctor's right.
that's
We're not
true.
going to be leaving town tonight. We're going to be staying here at either.
All right. Let's take a vote. All
Sounds
put
good.
your hands up if you want to go to the Abbey of Saint Mar, whatever that's called.
I would like to go with the
What are we talking about tonight
I
or
would like
tomorrow?
to go
Right now.
tomorrow.
Yeah,
I
right
would
now.
like to
Today.
go after we're all healed of this this curse.
Okay, well let's be more concise and clear about the vote. Those of whom want to be super duper cool and go up to the Abbey of St. Markovia today, spend the rest of our day there, just check it out, raise our hands.
Are we giving
I would like to
Hold
go.
on, are we giving Casimir a vote on this?
No, because he knows we're staying here overnight anyway. So that's 4 of us.
I would just be staying inside the wagon. There would be no reason for me to go in.
Hey, Cass.
That place.
What's up?
You can hear the voice from inside the wagon talking out.
Damn it,
Yeah.
we're loud. Gotta soundproof that
we
shit.
can't currently heal all 3 of you, or Leaf doesn't have that energy unless.
Yeah, but realistically, I don't think anyone's gonna turn tonight.
Yeah.
Or tomorrow.
Yeah.
Or the day after that.
Also, yes.
for that.
So if
I do understand the concern, though.
the Abbey goes smoothly, we could perhaps, I don't know, could you perhaps help 1 or potentially 2 people out today, and then help the other
Yeah.
out tomorrow?
I'm
Does
fine
that
to
seem
wait.
like-
You can heal anyone else you like.
I'm
I've
gonna.
had worse.
With this conversation, I'm gonna walk up to Allura. So sorry, where did you get bit?
I don't remember.
Where did I get bit?
It was your arm, I think, not shoulder.
Yeah. This is
Neck
the second
again?
neck injury I have. I'm just like scarred up.
Yeah. You too. It was initially on your arms.
Yeah.
For you, it was on your neck. Because it was one of the ones that.
Is it like right on top of the spawn bite?
No, it was kind of shoulder. It was like shoulder up
Okay.
into the side of your neck, more trap area. Yeah. So it's entirely up to you guys. Whatever you'd like to do.
So
I mean,
you were
Yeah, I'll cast Remove Curse.
No, I don't want you to. If we're going into this abbey, I don't want you to use.
Already cast it.
Alright. So kind of reaching over and doing the same thing that you had done with the boy. You pull across and looking in at the scar, which is definitely not as bad on Allura as it had been on him. Multiple bites in the same place. Whereas on her, just, the one large bite. You do the same thing, and you can see running down the sides of her neck and running up across the center of her chest a series of the same black lines, and pulling it out, and there is a substantially less of it that's being pulled out of her than out of him. You would imagine that he had been bitten multiple times to ensure that the curse took hold, whereas with her only being bitten the once and afflicted very recently, it wasn't as bad.
Cool.
Alrighty.
Hey, before we go, would you mind if we just take a quick little short rest? I want to try something.
I would mind.
You've been traveling along the road. The burgomaster would be more than happy to open his doors and at least provide you a hot meal if you wanted to take a short rest or anything like that.
Yeah.
Do you need me to assist in any way, Leaf, with whatever it is that you're about to do?
The only thing is, as long as you got the incense, you can do it.
Yeah, I have a prayer kit or whatever, so I think that includes...
I think it includes some. Was it 25 gold pieces?
Something like that, yeah.
No, on the card.
Oh, yeah, it's 25 gold pieces.
Let's check. Which kit did you take?
Okay, hold up. Sorry. I think it's on.
Sorry, trying to assist and actually stopping you from.
Oh, sorry, herbalism kit.
Herbalism kits.
That might...
Clippers, mortar and pestle, pouches and vials.
Oops. Yeah, never mind, that might not have incense then.
What do I have?
Leaf,
You could ask the
thank
burgomaster.
you.
No, you wouldn't have any.
Oh, no worries, I just don't want people being worried or anything. It'll be okay.
Speaking to the burgomaster, incense is something that would be able to be provided. They would be able to give you, we'll say, 50 gold pieces worth of incense.
Okay, I'd appreciate that.
Just based out of their own stores and prayers that they all make to the Morning Lord.
Yeah.
It would be able to be provided to you. So we'll say that you have 50 gold pieces worth of incense. And that's
very
just provided over the course of the short rest. So
Perfect.
you'd be able to use it for the item if you'd like.
Yeah, that would be great.
So, because I don't know if everybody knows what this one does. Welcome to the cleric item that I created.
Yay!
So I will, once a day, during a short rest, which is right now, I'm going to burn 25 gold worth of incense in the censer and meditate. Uninterrupted, I can sacrifice up to 5 hit dice, or again, up to 5 levels in spell slots. So would I be sacrificing 3 hit dice for one?
For a third level spell. It's whatever combination you want. If you want 3 first levels,
Yeah.
or
Okay,
if you want 1 third level.
I'm going to do that.
Okay. So you sacrifice 3 of your hit dice.
Yeah. And I get a third level
Third level spell slot.
Cool.
Yep.
Sweet.
So there you go. So now you've got 2 more for the rest of the day.
So you've got free hit die for
Yeah.
today.
I don't know if anyone else is doing anything, but old Leaf is just humming to himself. Just doing a little prayer.
I might have, with us having this short rest, I might have kind of slunk into the daddy wagon to chat to Casimir.
Okay. Well, you were all having a meal inside the burgomaster's mansion, so
Including
He
Cass.
he would have been there.
Okay, cool. Well, I might slink to Casimir.
Casimir, Dimitri, he spoke of the order who pray towards Bahamut. Had you heard of these people?
This is not something that I am aware of. No.
May I check to see if he's being truthful?
Sure.
Also, I thought when I did insight check earlier, I thought you'd said that we can just go insight check, but
Well, no,
would
that,
you
that
prefer
was,
me
that
to...
was something more specifically
Okay.
for that, where it was just like, no, insight check.
Okay,
Right, it's,
cool,
yeah.
okay, so you'd rather...
Yeah, it still should always be like, is he lying? Does he seem to be hiding something? Are they not being truthful?
Yeah.
But that one specifically was just a, No.
Okay.
Where it's
Cool.
like,
Sorry. I
"Nah."
just wanted to get like a
Yeah.
little bit of
No, it's all good.
confirmation on that.
Yeah, so what'd you roll?
18.
18? Seems to be being pretty honest.
Okay.
He hasn't really been distrustful or untruthful towards you.
It's yeah, I don't know what you want to do after the Amber Temple, whether you want to return to your people or whether you want to stick with us for a while longer.
I would prefer to return to my people. As much as I appreciate everything that you are doing for me, it is not my lifestyle to be an adventurer such as some of you.
Will you need an escort to do that? Or to
Yes,
return
that,
safely?
that was the agreement. You
Yes.
escort me to the Amber Temple.
Bye, Casimir.
Then
Bring
escort
it. Okay,
Yes.
sorry, I just wanted to check in about that.
Yes,
Casimir.
of course. I'm fully expecting a return to my village.
Absolutely, Casimir.
Dump his ass off.
Bye!
Hey, Jordy, remind me what the wooden nesting dolls I bought look like.
The wooden nesting dolls?
Yeah.
I
I bought them from, what's his name?
Blinsky.
Blinsky.
Oh, Blinsky.
Yeah,
They're fucking
if I'm not
terrifying.
if I'm remembering correctly, I think it's that it's a series of wolves.
Yeah.
Like dire wolf to large wolf to regular wolf
Yeah,
to,
yeah.
but all like teeth barred.
Okay.
I think that's what it was. I can't remember off the top of my head. I'm
Okay.
pretty sure that's what it was.
Oh, I was just gonna offer them to the local children.
Oh, okay.
They're all like, ugh, fuck.
They just kind of like look at it and just be like, no thanks.
Well, fine. It's my fun toy then.
Okay. And then they just walk away.
All right, to the temple.
Put that back in the old prison wall.
Are you feeling refreshed after that leaf?
Feeling a little bit better, yeah. I think I got in touch with him prayed for me, so I felt good.
I'm glad to hear it, friend.
You feeling better, Allura?
I am. Thank you, Leaf.
No problem. Are you feeling alright if we go tonight? I just don't want to hold up Cass.
Yeah,
I know we got a little antsy.
I just want us to go into a possible situation in the best light we can. You know, with all of the benefits that we have as a group. I don't want to have anyone lacking, especially a situation where I think there will be likely conflict.
I think if yesterday.
As I'm sharpening my trident with a big
Oh my
stone. I hope I get another head today.
I think if yesterday taught us anything, it's that this stuff just sort of happens and just be prepared
Yeah.
for it.
Yeah, I just want to, prepare at 100% if at all possible. So
Who knows? Maybe they'll be nice.
Let's be careful not to oversharpen me. I'm a very delicate son.
So, completing your short rest, Leaf feeling a little more refreshed in your ability to cast
Yeah.
spells. All of you
Arigato,
pack up. Is there anything else you'd like to do before heading out?
No, we're just heading up to the temple.
Back to town?
I'm still staying very, very close to Elethe the entire
Dimitri,
time.
are you comfortable with us parking our caravan in your?
Of course.
From-
My house is open to you for the evening if there is anything that you would like to leave here. But for the time being, if all you are doing is leaving your wagon, I'm sure that we can
So
take care of this.
our friend Casimir is going to remain here while we travel up to the abbey. Is that?
All right.
Dimitri, additionally, just before we leave, does your village have horses?
We do not.
Hmm.
Horses are a commodity that we unfortunately do not.
Well, thank you very
Best
much.
we have
Jesse,
cows,
it's
some wolves, but things that are required for sustenance. Horses do not really accommodate these,
Very well. Well, thank you so much. We'll be on our way.
of course. And so he ends up leading you through the streets, kind of walking you through a little. You do see that to the northeast. Oh, sorry. There is a large pool at the north end of town, kind of a shimmering, shiny
Ooh.
pool of water.
Pretty.
I read that.
Near the shore, there's an old gazebo, kind of on the verge of a cottage. Standing inside the gazebo, even at a distance, you can see there's a paint-chipped, faded statue of a mournful, bare-chested man standing with his arms outstretched as though waiting to be embraced.
Who dat?
High five.
Looking over at and asking the question, Dimitri just kind of, that is the morning lord. It is the shrine to him that was erected centuries ago at this point. No one particularly uses it anymore, but the water there is clean, clear, said to heal small maladies. Some people believe at least.
I have a spare flask. I'd be like, and I would just ask, do you mind if I take some of the water with me?
Please, of course. You kind of go over, and the water is gleaming. Like it has no right to be as clean and clear and crystal as it is, especially with what's surrounding it and the kind
Can
of.
I do a nature check on this?
Sure. Go for
I
it.
want to run over to her and go, hold on.
Oh boy.
You stick your face in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Start drinking it.
7.
You feel very refreshed. You kind of feel your arms kind of
Very found.
losing some of the scarring that was on there a little bit. Paying attention to how you've been feeling, the symptoms that you've not really begun to feel. You don't think. You realize that you have been feeling them, and they start to abate a little bit. Nothing really beyond that. But you also noticed that some of the wine that you had with lunch, the typical symptoms of that being a little on the drunk side,
Yeah,
all of those are instantly gone, as if the condition had been removed.
This water feels real good.
Oh.
It's okay. You can drink it.
You're just stroking one side.
Yeah, I
of
feel like
your
Les is
chest.
on a like get on my level thing right now.
Like as soon as you were like, oh, this feels good, you were just like,
Everyone knows that person
Follow
on
the
festival.
treasure trail.
Yeah.
you were just
Follow
like,
the scale trail.
Oh my god, this
Oh,
mug
mother.
you're wearing feels amazing.
I'm gonna fill my water skin with it.
Water skin for you.
Yeah,
Water
I would
skin for
also.
you.
Yeah.
You.
And I would drink some there
Yeah,
as well.
drink some and then fill it back up.
Same thing. You kind of
Same
like
thing here.
feeling the weariness and
Cheers.
the same kind of typical feeling of having a little bit of wine, get a little rosy cheeks. All of that
It's
just
okay.
instantly.
we're fidgety people.
Right?
I just need to double check something.
We're just.
So just say like water skin of
Water
It's
skin
like-
of
crazy water.
You can say water skin of shrine water.
We just filled up a thing of Fiji water. Let's get it. Mountain Spring. Should I put shrine water or mineral water?
Shrine water.
Perrier.
So the shrine water with your nature check was a 7.
I'll ever think about gins.
Yeah, that wasn't really anything. I'll get you to go ahead and make a. Actually, no.
Religion?
Yeah, there's nothing else that you would really know. So it's water that when drank, you both felt fantastic. Yeah, fully refreshed, like the kind of wearing nights of sleeping that you had over the last couple of days. All those started to abate. The bags under your eyes started to go a little. As best you can tell, this is something that will definitely help in a pinch. You're not exactly sure how, but it's something that would definitely be useful.
I'm gonna dip all my arrowheads in it as well.
Okay. And your arrowheads dip into it, and it is just water. It sloughs off.
Yeah, I'm not sure it's gonna do anything or it's holy water, but if it's a shrine to Palor, it might help against the undead.
Oh, actually, that said, I still have those 10 vials of the shitty Vistani potion.
Oh
from
yeah, the fake Vistani
the fake potions.
Yeah.
I'm going to dump those out on the ground
Okay.
and just quickly,
Surreptitiously.
surreptitiously fill up my vials and plug them back and put them back away.
Sure.
Smoke.
So you've got. We'll say that you've got 10 vials of the
Shrine water.
The same shrine water.
Is that going into the?
It's in. Yeah, I've got them.
They were in the group loot.
Yeah, they're in the bag of holding.
Bag of holding. Yeah.
Oh, you found the card.
I did.
Yeah,
Hooray.
good job.
I did a search.
So, other than that, there isn't really anything of else of real note. The switchback road that hugs the cliff is 10 feet wide, covered with loose gravel, chunks of broken rock. You can see that as you're beginning to walk up to the edge of the gate. The gates are opened at Dimitri's command, opening inwards as you begin to step through out onto the other side. The ascent is slow, somewhat treacherous. The air grows even colder than it was in the valley as you get closer and closer to the top.
So we're like huddled together.
I have
Well,
the
we're all
heart
within
of
30
cinnamon.
feet.
Because of the heart of cinnamon, all of you kind of normally would be feeling the effects at this point.
Why did we name the horse?
There doesn't appear to be any ill effects. All of you walking definitely a little close to hope, feeling a little bit of that warmth emanating from them. But beyond that, no ill effects. And
Cool.
you manage to make your way up to the top. You also notice that on the ground, the fairly icy rocks that you've been walking on, as you're walking further forward with Hope in the middle of the group, begin to melt slightly as you're walking.
Ooh.
So
Yeah.
heat from that heart also assisting with the ascent.
Can we do
So
another one
sexy.
shot like that in like summer? Do like an actual.
Beach party.
Because I missed that one. I'm like, I want cool
Summer
items.
solstice.
Yes.
Yeah, I want to spend my feet
You've got
one.
fire items now.
Sorry
Yeah.
for
That's
her.
alright.
I just played footsie
I'd
with.
be okay with that.
Oh my god, this table
Let's do the whole
end is like
fucking-
footsie crazy. And we're all like fidgety, and so it's just like, boom.
I'm not a part of this.
Oh, is that Kevin I'm getting?
All right, now do you want to be part of this?
So,
Human contact.
Anyway.
No, thank you.
On topic.
the
Never.
road from the village climbs above the mist to the wide ledge on which the abbey is perched. A light dusting of snow covers the trees and the rocky earth beneath your feet. The gravel road passes between two small stone outbuildings, to either side of which stretches a 5-foot-high, 3-foot-thick wall of jumbled stones, held together with mortar, but not much of it. Blocking the road are iron gates attached to the outbuildings by rusty hinges, both of them hanging slightly askew. They appear to be unlocked, able to be opened, but still closed over on one another. Viewed through the gates, the stone abbey stands quiet. Two wings are joined by a 15-foot-high curtain wall. A belfry protrudes from the roof on top of the closer north wing, which also spots a chimney billowing gray smoke.
You said belfry?
Belfry. It's
What
a
is
good
it?
Bell tower.
Bell tower.
Okay, I
Okay.
thought it was. Thank you. We both were like, just
What did you
clarification.
think it was?
I don't.
A belfry is a bell tower.
Okay, that makes sense.
Hunchback of Notre Dame, that's
Yep.
a belfry.
Cool. I was thinking like a. I don't know what I was thinking.
Like a
Just-
butterfree?
How big's the
It's a
chimney?
giant butterfly. Sorry?
How big's the chimney?
How big is the chimney?
Yeah.
Like tall or wide?
Both.
Tall stretches about 5 feet, 6 feet up from the top of the roof.
Okay.
Wide, probably 5 to 10 feet wide. Fairly wide.
I'm not gonna do this. I know
Look at
everything
you
I'm gonna
fucking
do.
Santa
I'm not gonna do
Claus.
that. I'm not going to do it.
You're
But
not.
Rick is.
Oh, alright.
Rick's gonna pop in.
Rick's gonna pop in.
Well, yeah, Rick's gonna I'm just gonna invisible him,
Okay.
and I'll just because he's a demon. He's fine. He's not gonna be affected by smoke.
Gonna
You
go
just bring
down
it
there.
back.
Strahd's in there T-posing. 'Cause we haven't triggered his event.
T-posing?
Yeah, we haven't triggered his event.
Oh, okay. Oh my
Establishing
god, do I
dominance
just
over
not
lands.
know anything tonight?
Welcome to the internet.
It's a video
Emma.
game thing. If when somebody's T-posed, it's like arms outstretched, think Vitruvian Man.
Oh.
It's that because the event that triggers them hasn't happened yet, so they can't react in any way. They're just standing there.
We're just clipping through the wall and
I thought it was like, could it be a sex act or something?
Everyone.
You think
I
it has
mean,
Always
that's
with the
called a
sex
starfish.
acts.
Yeah,
That's not a sex act.
Starfish
more of
is
a-
something
Sleeping
different.
act.
Cool.
Sex act.
all right, everyone's cool with me sending Rick down the chimney.
Yeah.
Check it.
Oh, always.
Yes, I'm sorry. I will keep us on
Thank you.
So,
point.
sending Rick up invisibly to the top of the
Fuck.
roof. He does come to the top of the chimney. The top of the chimney is covered over with an iron grate that he is not able to fit.
Okay, cool. No worries. Can he
Focus on
peek in like windows? Just see if there's any windows around.
All the windows are boarded up from the inside.
Badass. Let's go kill some stuff.
Okay.
So you got the wall and then the iron gate. How are you gonna get in?
Let's take a
How
look
high
at
is the wall again?
Lester, isn't this
Wall
your specialty?
5 feet high.
Oh.
So it's a gated wall surrounding the entire compound type
Yep.
thing. Is there a lock on the gate?
Can we just-
Unlocked, just kind of rusted on its hinges. You can see kind of the gates are closed over as if they would, scrape against the ground as if.
Nice, but
I
can you
actually
go
have
here?
a.
No, I was just about to
have
say
a
those
thing.
words. Can I check ball traps?
Yes.
Yeah.
Go make an
What were
investigation.
you?
I actually have a little spell called rope trick that lets me put my rope up on the iron, climb into a little interdimensional room. But we could just climb up the rope and then hop over the fence.
It's
Does
5
seem
feet high.
It's not.
My rope is 10 feet high and I can
It's
use
not
No,
like
no,
a,
no, no. It's not that high.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
It's not
I'm
like
just
a Legend
gonna
of Zelda.
kind of
Like we
like
can
go
jump.
a little away from the
Yeah.
gate. Kind of.
Yeah.
Are there any trees or anything beside?
Just some low bushes that are still that are fairly far away from
Okay, I would.
the wall.
Forget a 9.
A 9, not trapped.
Definitively.
Sorry.
I'm still gonna do this. I'm gonna kind of like run up and like kind
Can we
of
go to the bathroom? I'm sure
vault
things will be fine.
off and but like roll up kind of.
Opa!
Things are already poor.
Picture
Ocean's 12, the French guy, when he like goes up and he hops up and just kind of like lays on the top of the wall.
Parkour.
And like parkour.
So
But like
Michael
French
Scott in the
parkour.
office.
Sorry.
Michael Scott in the office.
Yeah.
Parkour.
Parkour.
Um.
Okay.
So yeah, and then kind of like look down to see what I can see.
Okay. So doing that, are you
Take one of my
stealthily or are you just doing it?
Perfect.
I would be stealthily doing it.
Okay, go make a stealth check for me.
That will be
A billion.
a billion. 28.
28.
Fuck.
Okay.
Yeah.
You kind of telling everybody to wait, making your way down a good.
They don't have to wait.
Oh, we wait.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we're gonna wait for you to check.
Yeah, we're just gonna
Oh,
see
I
what's
was just
happening.
trying to.
Either way, making your way 15, 20 feet down, away from the gate, you find a place where the mortar is fairly substantial. You would imagine you'd be able to climb over without breaking anything. And you just do a quick little hop up onto the side and lay down on the side and look out over the edge of it. You do see inside. Excuse me. Thick fog fills the courtyard, swirls as if eager to escape, but being somewhat held inside by the walls. The courtyard is surrounded by a 15-foot high curtain wall on which you currently stand, or lay, I should say. And you do see that there are several guards at different outposts along.
Oh shit.
Oh, what?
Do they look like their armor? Is it anything like what I've seen, what I haven't seen?
They did.
Are they? Do they look human? What's the deal with these guards?
Could we knock?
I wouldn't have even told you guys I was leaving. Like I would have basically
With that stealth check, they didn't even know.
that
They
I
just
left.
looked over, hey,
Yeah, so these guys would be still acting.
Oh, fuck,
I know,
Alana's
but,
gone.
but with you acting as quickly as you did,
Yeah.
you would be getting first look.
Okay.
Go make a perception check for me.
8.
8. The guards appear to be unmoving. That's about all you get. You don't really get any details. They're a bit too far away from you, and you're trying to be a bit too stealthy at this point. That's what you see specifically looking further in. You also see along the ground, now that you're not looking at the building, the abbey itself. You see stunted pine trees grow out of the rocky earth in the graveyard near the foundation of the abbey's north wing. The windows of the structure are cracked panes of leaded glass on the inside of which, of course, are boarded up. Ancient gravestones burst forth from a thin crust of snow in the yard, and beyond the low wall that surrounds the graveyard, the ground falls away entirely. The village lies 400 feet below as you look out over the edge on both sides. A ray of golden sunlight breaks through the clouds to the west and shines upon a grave. The fog and gloom shrink from its brilliance as the sunlight causes the gravestone to crack and crumble.
Do I see any ravens?
Any ravens? Good perception check.
Wait, sorry, I just want to confirm. We didn't just watch, like, she didn't just watch the sunlight hit it and it just cracked?
You didn't.
But, like,
But it
you
actually-
watched
It cracked as the sun hit it? Like, I saw it crack?
That's kind of cool. Good timing.
Yeah, what's the chances of that? 1 in 20.
Hey.
We did
Um,
good timing.
I don't see any. I rolled a 4 in perception for ravens.
You looking up and around, nothing that you can see.
Um,
You see, in addition to this, there's a gatehouse that stands at the entrance to the Abbey Gardens. And nestled between rising and plunging cliffs are 4 rectangular garden plots enclosed by 5-foot-high walls of mortared stone.
That's probably fine.
White rabbits, middle-lawn turnips uprooted by the cold, and 2 lifeless scarecrows with stuffed gullets and sackcloth heads hang from wooden crosses pounded into the cold, hard earth.
Good lord.
What's
Boys are real fucking upper.
Hey Les, how's that door working out for you?
Apparently it looks fine.
Ah, well let's give it a go then.
I'm a little bit trepidatious with my history with
Do you want
doors.
me to double check it?
I mean, the safer the better. I'd rather not repeat
can
history
look.
for a third time. Explode.
Yeah, I can check your work.
Just sits on.
What's the roll for checking for traps again?
Investigation.
Investigation? Okay. 17.
Okay. Doesn't appear to be trapped. Appears to be squeaky.
It seems okay, but
Wait, where's Allura?
I think
I
Jeez.
bet that
You all
rascally
just kind of
little
look
dog
around
got
and all of
inside.
you just realize that Allura's no. You actually don't know where she is.
No.
So it'd be
Chris,
just-
same thing that happened
Seems like
with
Alora's
Giles.
pulled an Elethe.
She's
Ah.
probably.
Can
Oh, I
you
won't go
send
dying.
Rick to
Oh,
find
good.
her?
Yeah, cool. Say
I
that.
can send Rick to take a peek over the wall. I
Sending
mean,
Rick right
I think we should just go through this gate here.
I don't like our party being separated.
We already know this is a haunted place. It's not best just to fucking go right in there.
Alright.
And this is
Is
me saying this to
Is the
you.
gate locked?
Unlocked.
No.
Unlocked, just kind of closed over. You can imagine a gate that's hanging on its hinges, and it's kind of like open at the bottom and closed at the top, as if both of the pieces had been held together in some way.
It's best to go send Rick to find Allura. and see where she
Fine,
went.
fine.
Yeah, I don't.
So Allura, Rick, now that you check in with him, has seen everything that Allura's done. Hopped up onto the side of the
gonna
wall,
roll
is kind of
stealth
laying
check?
flat. and doing-
Yeah, she's up there, guys.
He's, he's
just
above. Like, he
she
looks
just-
down and just sees you on
Like,
the wall.
I like see Rick and I kind of roll my eyes at him and be like,
You don't, because he's invisible.
fuck.
Roll their eyes anyways.
yeah, she's just up
It's
there,
like,
guys. Let's
I know
go.
that
Alright.
dick is here. And he's
Is
just
there
like in
any,
your ear.
Rick,
Yeah.
like where
I feel like that would be a very Allura thing to.
where
Yeah.
are we on? Has Rick seen
It's just
anything
the
in our
Daria.
vicinity? Like
Yeah.
where
Constant
the entrance
yeah.
is?
Okay.
More like Jane, I
Uh,
think, from Daria.
Jordy,
Sorry.
would Rick have caught everything that Allura saw?
Yeah, everything and a couple of other pieces.
Okay. I'm just gonna relay everything to the party then, because he's told me it all.
Sure.
Alright.
So in addition to that,
Oh.
excuse me, you also see a 15-foot high curtain wall joins the abbey's two wings. Behind its battlements, two guards stand at attention, their features obscured by the fog even at Rick's distance. Below them, set into the wall, is a pair of 10-foot tall wooden doors reinforced with bands of steel on the outside. To the right of these doors, mounted on the wall, is a tarnished copper plaque.
Ooh. What's the plaque say?
The plaque says, as Rick flies closer in, go make a stealth check for him.
Okay.
Each.
Yeah.
Where's Rick's stuff?
Danger dog.
15.
15? Okay. Slowly flies in, kind of quieting everything. He's even getting a little creeped out with what's going on in this place. It says, may her light cure all illness.
Alright, guys, we can get some illnesses cured. Let's go.
He does also notice flying in. Go and make a perception check for him.
Where's perception on here? Might not. Oh, very good. Oh.
Oh, yeah, I
there's
pointed
one.
at persuasion.
Yeah, so that's a 6.
6. Okay. The guards, very similar to what he saw on the roof, are completely unmoving.
Okay.
They're just standing perfectly still.
How many altogether?
We were just the
Do I
scarecrows,
see?
didn't we?
Do you see?
Right now.
We didn't see
You
stuff,
see 6.
right? That's fine.
Jeepers Creepers stuff.
Let's go.
Should we try and go quietly through this gate?
Probably.
You said it looked squeaky.
It does seem squeaky. I have my flask of oil is pretty much empty, but I'm gonna try and like shake out the last couple of drops on the hinges of the gate and see if I can kind of oil it up a little bit.
WD
Just kind of like a little bit on
Can
there
I
as
cast-
best you can.
And could I cast mending on it? Is that can assist in any way?
Mending, I mean, sure. Go and make just make an a spellcasting ability check. Just add your modifier.
You
Go
guys
on.
are dropping things today.
Second try. It's a 12.
12. Mending will help a little bit as you're casting it. Kind of, what is it you're trying to do? Are you trying to like right the gates?
If I
Or
want
fix
to,
the
I want to
hinges?
assist Elethe in fixing the hinges so they're less squeaky.
So it
Okay.
swings really
So
smoothly.
yeah, so it swings smoothly. Like if there's
Okay.
any like correct, like if it
So
Rust just flakes
yeah,
off.
so it's not really gonna do
Okay.
that.
Yeah,
Mending,
no
like you know the capabilities of the spell.
Yeah.
That what you would potentially be able to do is if someone were to lift the gate, you could mend it back
Oh.
into the wall, so it would be hanging flat again. But in terms of just rust, it's not really gonna do anything.
Fair
for
enough. Noted.
it. Alright.
Cool. Let's go down. Let's be quiet and stick low to the fog.
I'm gonna cast Pass Without Trace.
Bless
Okay.
your heart.
Yeah.
Moving
I
on.
think that's probably the best thing for us to be doing. So I hold my little like components and like the darkness kind of descends and everyone finds themselves being able to
Just to
stick
double
shadows.
check, how far away is Allura to the group?
You don't know.
There's like a
Or
fucking-
Allura, how far away would you have moved from?
You don't know.
Rick would know.
You know how far away you are, but the group doesn't, so that's not something that You can answer.
I wouldn't have gone too far away, but far enough that, like, if someone was attacking here, I would have been able to flank, like, pop down and flank. That was my intention.
No, I know where you are. It's
Yeah.
more so
We don't know what she
you
is.
don't know where she is.
Yeah.
Do I find darkness in, like,
Is she affected by
upon
cast
my
trace?
upon my movements?
I think it's
at
only
any point?
It's within 30 feet.
Is it 30?
Yeah, and
Yeah,
considering
30.
my cold protection is only 30 feet as well.
So
Oh, so I would have been able to, like, sense it.
you would have been able to sense it getting colder and colder,
Yeah.
but not to the point of it being a biting cold.
Okay.
And you do notice that the shadows begin to cling to you. Is it creatures of your choice or creatures you can see?
Creatures that I choose within 30 feet of
Okay,
me.
so you could choose
Yeah,
Allura.
I would
so
want Allura to
you
have
kind
the
of
benefit
up on
of
the
that.
side of the wall, kind of looking out over everything. You notice that even like raising your hand, the shadows are clinging to your arm.
Would she
It's
have
fine.
been a 38
Nice, man.
stealth check because it's plus 10?
Theoretically, yeah.
Right
You
now,
have
you're so
38
badass.
stealth.
Like, literally, no one can see you.
So, all of you casting Pass Without a Trace, all of you stealthing.
I
Go
turn
ahead and
into
roll
John
stealth
Cena.
check.
Disadvantage.
Didn't get my best.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh,
fucking
do I
hell.
roll another one?
Nope, you're
Oh
still
my
good because you haven't broken
God.
stealth.
Damn you, disadvantage.
Less.
18.
18.
Nat 20.
With the plus 10.
28.
Oh shit, no, yeah.
28?
Yes.
Sweet.
Nat 20, so 30.
30.
Well, I had a nat 20, but 22.
22.
22 as well.
Oh, 23.
Oh, yeah, because you're disadvantaged.
Disadvantage, yeah.
Disadvantage and
23.
23. Okay. All right. All very quietly quieting your footsteps. All of you kind of used to your armor and wearing the heavier coats that have been provided to you a little, kind of quieting some of the metal clanking. So you make your way forward. Are you opening the gates?
Oh, yeah.
When we're stepping, is it like the little like doo doo doo? Like we're
No,
doing
it's-
going
it's
full
the-
Scooby Doo?
I'm opening the gates carefully. Like, I don't think that there's traps, but I've kind of learned over the course of all of our experiences that even sometimes when I don't think there are traps, there are.
Can I
So-
assist with Elethe
careful.
opening?
So, well, it would be one person, because the gates are kind of crossed over like this, right? So one gate will open, and then the other one has to be open afterwards, or you can just open the one.
Let's just open the one.
Okay.
I'll just open the one on the left-hand side.
All right. So opening the one on the left-hand side as best you can. There is definitely some as the gate begins to open.
I would only open it enough for us to be able to sneak through.
We do have an 8-foot furbolg.
You do.
I would appreciate
We have a thick boy.
the whole booty. Leaf as a
Stepping
grandpa.
through.
Druid.
The gate is kind of stuck in the ground a little bit. It's definitively open at this point. It's just kind of propped itself up. You would have to manually close it if you wanted to do so.
I don't think we need to.
No. So
Keep
the
our
graveyard
escape
is
open.
right beyond where we.
Graveyard is kind of off to the right-hand side from where you are right now. Going forward and off to the left, you see that there are kind of the main doors to the abbey, and then it flanks around a hard corner that you can't see past on the other side.
I'll, like,
So you fall down onto the other side. At this point, you guys kind of looking around and figuring things out. You see a falling figure that you would associate having the amount of time you spent as Allura.
Oh. Fine.
Just thinking for these graveyards, when you said there were stunted pine trees, is there any other trees, or how large are these trees? Jordy?
Sorry?
How large are the trees around that you mentioned before? Is there any tree looking particularly evil?
There are no trees inside the abbey. They're all fairly far away from the walls on the outside.
Okay, and I thought you said there were some amongst the gravestones.
Sorry, there were some smaller ones amongst the gravestones, like give or take maybe 7, 8, 10, 9 feet tall, just a little bit taller than Elethe.
And
So
do
kind of
any of those look particularly evil?
trees don't really look
That
evil.
tree's
not,
got a
not at
mean
this
look to
distance.
it.
You would need to really go up and
Okay.
I'm telling you, we've had some real run-ins.
So you said there was like a blind corner just ahead of us?
Yeah, so you can imagine if you're looking straight ahead,
Okay.
you've got gravestones on your right
Yeah.
and kind of the side of the building.
Yeah.
Moving directly straight forward, there's a kind of a path that's laid into the ground a little bit, and then that opens up to a set of double doors, and that flanks around a left corner. This entire thing is a wall, and then beyond the wall was where Rick saw the gardens on the other side.
Can I see that one sunlit gravestone?
The sunlit gravestone, you don't, because you were the only person who noticed that one. From where you were, you know roughly where it is, and it's falling off. You can kind of see where it is. But at this point, you hear trudging on the ground, and you see that there are two figures walking over, kind of large clawed feet, one single arm that's very humanoid, but faces like a combination between a dog and a human. It's got a snout, large teeth, and like one
Hold on.
human
They might not
ear
mean well. They
with
might
like
mean well.
regular hair draped down one side of the head, but on the other a very large, high, dog-like ear with it's kind of flopped over onto itself and holding a shovel in one arm. And there's two of them. One who is just wearing a green, what you would imagine maybe would be like robes of some kind, but definitely tattered and torn. And the other one wearing a fairly large cloak that's pulled up over the face. And they just slowly begin to make their way out.
So I'm like still up, kind of like hidden
Yeah.
away from the group.
And they're kind
Where-
of looking around. All the rest of you are just, in front of the gate.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not exactly been long, maybe
No.
20, 30 seconds or
Yeah.
so at this point, kind of getting your bearings. And you start to see these two figures making their way out from what looks to be like a small pile of maybe discarded wooden beams and hay and
Right, like
straw.
rubble.
Each kind of like pulling themselves out of that and then coming over
Oh.
and just kind of like posting up there and just,
I wanna
What
try-
do you want?
Okay, well, they saw us.
Do I recognize these things at all now that beasts are my favorite enemy?
you have no clue.
Okay.
Like this straight up looks like a dog human.
So it looks like somebody who's kind of like morphed between.
So like the
Like
in-between
halfway,
animal?
as if they either started as a human and were half morphed into a dog,
The middle
or
animal.
the other side, but not werewolf, not
Full Metal
clean,
Alchemist then?
where
Yeah.
it's like humanoid legs, clear claws,
Right, it's
and
like
snout and hair.
bubbles of
It's-
different
Don't
rays.
worry, I've
Yeah,
been on
you've got,
DeviantArt,
like,
I've seen this
large
one before.
patches of darkened skin, and carrying a shovel, not in a menacing fashion, but just like using it almost like a crutch.
Like
As
a
it walks
polymorph
forward.
gone wrong kind of thing.
I'm not sure. One of them definitively looks like that. The other is a little more on the gray bearded side, like tufts of hair. Think like Wolfman, but everything on the center of the face has no hair. It's just giant, like plume outside. They're just very creepy looking figures.
Okay. We mean no harm. We're here to investigate the Abbey.
Investigate.
Yes.
Have you come to see the abbot?
Yes, we have.
Did you bring an offering?
We're not from these lands. We're not aware of the local customs.
Wine.
Oh, we got
do.
wine.
Yeah, we do.
We absolutely have wine.
Don't we have a
Wine.
Oh, we don't have any left.
We have a bottle of wine.
We don't have it
We have a
left. You
whole-
gave it to Kit. I'm not there. I'm just telling you.
Yeah, you're off to the side. You're just
Yeah.
seeing this and hearing the conversation.
Why?
Make a deception check.
Hey, Leaf, you got any water into wine spells?
Yeah, I'm slowly.
Now we're talking.
Come on, for bulk Jesus.
We
Where's
gave
yeah?
one to
So that's an unnatural
It's more
20.
A natural
and
20.
to
Okay.
Danica.
But didn't you have 3?
We did have one.
Yeah,
Okay.
if we need to.
I just want to get us in there. So if we got to do some murder, and we can do it from the inside out.
Okay. Alrighty.
We're gonna kill Quasimodo.
Good. It has been some time since he had an offering. Come.
And he gestures with the shovel and kind of turns around. And you can see the two of them begin to like half hop almost on legs, using the one arm and the shovel to kind of help themselves move forward, moving towards the entrance, the large set of double doors.
This Crest's renovation budget is very low.
Are you all right, friend? You seem to be hobbled.
Yes. Off fine.
Yeah, that's fine.
Judging us. So.
Yeah.
So all of you
No
visible
judgment
things that
here.
are following, what are you doing?
There's the main doors, but there's kind of the dead corner, right?
So
Don't split from the
from
pearl.
where you
What's
are,
gonna happen?
looking out, cemetery,
Yep.
edge of the building, edge continues, double doors, continues alongside, and you can't see past this over to the other side.
Okay. I would just kind of slink behind, try to stay out of sight if I can.
There isn't really anything to hide behind. Like you've kind of clung to the shadows and found like some very small pieces that you can keep yourself hidden, and they don't appear to have noticed you. They appear to have been drawn, you would guess, to the sound of the gate.
Okay. Yeah, I would just try to stay at the edge of the group,
Okay.
joining in.
And then, all right. So joining in at the edge of the group, they do notice and turn back, and
Shut the gate.
the one who he's with just kind of splinters off and waits off to the side, and eventually runs around to the front of the gate. And you hear as the gate recloses and the metal clangs against itself, and then eventually rejoins as they begin to make their way to the front.
I'm not causing shit till we got to.
Yeah.
They seem friendly.
Yeah, they seem fine.
I'm still sticking very close to
everything's
Elethe this whole time.
This is fine.
So
Just have like my trinose.
Can I
you do notice
feel as though I'm leading the back of the group, but I don't know if Allura is actually the true back, but I think I'm at the back of the group.
Yeah.
Well, there's nowhere really
38.
for you to hide.
I
so,
know.
Like, you're either there or you're not. So, you're there?
Yeah, I'm there.
Okay.
Just like military crawling around.
The 38, you're so sad. You're like, I don't want to be visible.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
I'm the hide in the shadow right here.
Look, do you see the shadow?
So, making your way
I am the shadow.
it is a good 100, 120 feet or so from the gate to the main entrance. Following up, Rick is kind of still flying overhead a little. All of the tops of the buildings are all closed off. There isn't really a way for him to see much further inside. It's just the large courtyard that's on the other side that he can see into. As you approach the figures that he had pointed out, the guards, you notice those are actually scarecrows. They just are T-posed figurines,
wondered.
but they have kind of shovels or pitchforks that are leaned up against them to kind of make it look like they're actual guards of some kind. The ones on the roof, all of you noticing the same thing. Rick especially now at this distance, they're all exactly the same. They are guards with just kind of planks of wood held up against them.
Classic.
I knew it. T-posing to establish dominance.
Similar to teabagging to establish dominance, but not exactly.
Stay right there.
The one in front, the one carrying the shovel, kind of lays that down on the ground, hops forward on the one arm, and rustles around inside the robes that he's wearing, and pulls out a large set of keys, 2 keys on it, and just inserts one into one of the doors, and a nice heavy thwang as the door lock releases, and the doors begin to open inward.
What is your name, friend?
No names.
Oh.
Thank you.
Is that standard for everyone here?
You're here to see the abbot, not me.
Well, just making conversation.
Make it with him. As he begins to make his way further inside.
Alrighty.
Alright.
So the one, the 2 of them open up the 2 doors and hold the doors open for all of your group to go inside, closing the doors in behind you and relocking them from the inside. Now that you made your way inside, you see that thick fog fills a courtyard that is now on the inside of the actual outer courtyard. This was the one that I described before that you were able to see, and you could kind of see through the gate a little bit. What you do notice, however, is there are wooden doors to the north and east that lead to the 2 wings of the abbey. In the center of the courtyard is a stone well fitted with an iron winch, to which a rope and bucket are attached and just hanging out to one side. Along the perimeter, tucked under the overhanging wall, are several stone sheds with padlocked wooden doors, as well as 3 shallow alcoves that contain wooden troughs. 2 wooden posts pounded into the rocky earth have iron rings bolted to them, and chained to one of them is a short humanoid with bat wings and spider mandibles.
Interesting.
Whoa. Does anyone recognize that creature?
It is, as best you can tell, a mashup of a bat spider human.
Cool.
This is so fucking
Batman.
weird. Coming 2020 from Marvel.
Bad Spider-Man.
Frankenstein and Barovia. Yeah.
Inside the sheds, you just hear from a series of them as they all kind of echo their scream as one goes off, the other one follows, and another.
Don't worry. Let's play it cool,
I am
guys.
sticking very close to Elethe, and if anyone does anything aggressive, I'm going to be doing
And
something.
you can see that the humanoid that's kind of on the ground there is like seated cross-legged, but the arms are kind of shriveled up to the sides a little, and just kind of seated there and just kind of like rocking forward and back a little bit. Wait here. We'll get in the abbot. Don't move.
I'm not gonna move. That's fine.
Some real naked lunch shit happening here.
And one of them makes his way a little bit further south. If you go through the doors, you've got a set of double doors. You walk through. You're in the main courtyard area. There's a door kind of on your left-ish and on your right-ish. He makes his way to the door on the right and raps a couple of times on the door, and then eventually passes inside. And a few minutes pass, and you again hear a round of screams from within the sheds.
Just go off everywhere.
These guys are,
What the hell is this place?
play it cool, Les. We're gonna find out what the abbot was doing here, and if need be, we will deal with
I
things.
see a lot of evil things, and my trident is very pointy.
5 minutes or so, 6, 7 minutes pass. And eventually, you hear the door latch opening again. And stepping out from inside, you see the same figure holding the shovel, kind of limping forwards. But following him is a beautifully dressed, very fair-skinned human male. And no visible differences to his physique, to his aesthetic. Somewhat darker skin, almost looks a little on the tan side, but not as dark as the Vistani. Just a very stark difference from all these, for lack of a better term, things that are inside the abbot and the abbey themselves.
You said he was well dressed. Would Allura think he was well dressed?
The lure would think that he was a monk or a pastor.
Oh, okay.
Excuse me.
Okay.
But one in gold robes. White robes, gold trim. Like
20%
he would not look out of place at a state dinner.
Hey,
Okay.
man, we're here to gab about Christ.
Is there anything about him that looks like it's from the Sword Coast? Or is
Sword
it?
Coast.
Yeah,
Make an insight check.
I will.
There's a hat that's visited water deep, and all I got was this shirt.
I had some cracked pepper twisted.
The Selgon serpents.
Oh no.
When they were in my lungs, and so I've got black pepper like stuck in the back of my nose.
Oh no.
Nope.
Drive me crazy.
Nope. 19.
19. The markings are the clothing style is not reminiscent of the Sword Coast. It's not really reminiscent of anything that you know. It's just really nice clothes. You do recognize that there is a large symbol for the Morning Lord on a chain around his neck. And it's the center of his chest. You can see, like, even through the robes that he's wearing, you can kind of see the muscular form underneath. Like, this is a very well kept man.
So he's jacked. Okay.
Got a swimmer's bod.
Does Hope have their shield with them? Like,
Yeah,
visible?
my shield.
It's on his back. It's visible.
This is like Legend of Zelda. You
Can
present the shield
I, with those screams that you were mentioning before, were they kind of screams of pain, or like did they kind of like, or was
Or
it more like
pressure.
trying to? No, that wasn't actually
They
what I meant
screams
for
of
one.
evil trees.
No, like aggressive, like trying
Like
to
was it,
Were they
or
ravens?
was it, yeah, like was it kind of something trying to talk, or was it like kind of like, oh, does it sound as though it's being hit? Is kind of what I'm
So
asking.
like reactive or preemptive?
It's tough to tell.
Okay.
Without being able to see the creature, the scream could be either way. It could be out of exasperation, it could be out of pain, out of desperation. You're not sure. But whatever it was not out of pleasure.
No, when I ask
I
her,
will-
I go, ah!
didn't ask that one this time.
That wasn't even Emma.
That wasn't me.
So the man stepping out. So, you have come to make tribute.
Oh shit. Our person who was talking is now here.
Yes, I have. And let me
I
tell
shall
you.
wait for him to regain his voice.
Showtime.
What I miss?
You gotta
She's
talk to
talking
the
to
other.
you.
I hear you have come to make tribute.
That's correct. My name is Dr. Damata. This is my traveling companion. We see you're a servant of the Dawnfather.
A doctor.
Yes.
It's been some time since someone graced these walls. Yes, I am a servant of his.
Can I insight check that real quick?
Sure, go for it. See if he's lying on the other.
I don't see any of his
just
doctor
to
papers.
see what he means by servant of.
Sure.
Where's his doctor badge?
Wow. So
Oh,
that's
no.
that's not great. That's a 4.
That's a 4.
Yeah. He seems fine.
Yeah.
He's a cool guy.
He's a servant of the Dawnfather.
He's super
Damn right.
trustworthy.
Yeah.
Graduated Sloan Kettering.
Can I like insight check as someone who is wary of like people abusing their power. The way he's dressed in this environment is weird. Does that like?
So, yes.
Okay.
It's more so that you looking at him, you've seen priests from all spectrums. He doesn't match any of them.
Right.
He is far too prim and proper to be a priest, but he is. Everything that he radiates, everything emanating from him, is that he's a priest.
Are these some of your patients?
They are my protectors, for lack of a better term.
Protectors?
Yes.
Are you here not of your own will?
No, I believe you misunderstand. They assist with maintaining the abbey.
I see. We had heard tell that you, I presume you are, of course, the abbot.
At your service.
You had come here a number of years ago to renovate the Abbey of St. Markovia.
There is a slight misunderstanding here. I have been here for several centuries. The man who came here to renovate, he is a different man.
I see.
Was he Spider-Man?
But what happened to this? What happened to that man? If you don't mind my asking.
He assisted and then left.
If you've been here for several centuries, did you know Saint Markovia?
I did not. She was before my time. Her full 500 years ago, as best our records keep.
Can I insight check to see if this guy really is old as you say he is?
Sure, go for it.
You gotta look at the hands.
God, mercy.
Sure, people do.
I've heard that.
That's an 8.
8. Tough to read.
Okay. Switch dice.
I was gonna ask, can I insight check? But what his face did when I mentioned Saint Markovia.
Sure, go for it.
I want to see if that's like. Well, no, but I mean like.
Yeah, to like see if he had any like stress lines.
Yeah, reaction, or like if it's changed in a more pleasant way.
Like how the Burgomaster's kid liked Strahd.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that one's actually got us pretty close.
13.
Tough to read.
Yeah, fair enough.
I was picturing like Tom Cruise. We're talking about Scientology right now.
You've been in these lands
I've been here for several
hundreds of years, you said. Are you from these lands? Did you come here?
I came here.
Of your own will?
To an extent, yes. Enough of this, though. You said that you had come with tribute.
Yes. Yes, we have. I will.
And which vintage are you bringing me this evening?
I'm going to present a bottle of wine from the bag of holding.
Fancy ass bottle of wine.
It's from the Sword Coast. It's
I do not recognize this. Did you get this from the winery?
No, we found these in the Vistani camps.
Interesting.
They come from another land.
I see one bottle.
Wait.
Where's the tribute for each of you?
This wine is so good, it counts as a tribute for all of us.
You drink it like a shot at soccer.
That's some 5-year-old planning there.
This is an incredibly rare delicacy in these parts.
What he
We're
said.
told we're not from here. We're not aware of the customs. Your servants out front were the ones who let us know. It was fortunate we had this on us. We thought it best to pay our tributes.
Empty those all into the vials quickly.
Right. He strides forward. Proffers his hand.
Yeah, hand her the bottle.
Looks at it and reaches up, and you can see that the bottle is corked. And he just kind of holds his fingers there, and the cork just begins to move ever so slightly out of the bottle. And he just focuses on it and actually grabs the top of the bottle and just shatters the glass off the top of the bottle.
He's very very strong.
and then just begins to drink out
He
of
is
the
serious about aerating his wine.
and begins to just kind of pour it into his mouth a little. You do notice that some of the drops are splashing off of his face onto his robes, and they seem to just fall away to the ground.
Just got one of those like Mark Work warehouse.
That's what I was thinking. Scotch guard.
He just kind of looks at him. This is quite nice. I do not believe this is worth 6 of you, though. Is this all that you have come to offer?
As stated, Abbot, we are visitors in this land. We ourselves are not here of our own will. We only learned about the tribute to you at your gates.
Then why have you come? You can see he becomes a little more wary at this point.
We were told in the village of Barovia that the Abbey of St. Markovia would be a place where we could seek refuge and also seek assistance in our quest to...
Then you have been mistold.
No,
We've come in search of Father Petrovich. Let me just double check that name.
I think Petrovich was the guy in
Yeah, he was.
Barovia.
In Balaki.
Father, what's his name? So many fucking
God,
priests.
Father Prentice.
Father
Hold on.
Prentice.
Deep cuts happening right
You
now.
know when Zach Morris and Sarah Bell goes, time out. That's what we're doing right now. We're all just frozen.
We've taken such good notes already that we need a minute to look them over.
it's true.
It is true, I know.
We've been looking for Samael, Father Adanovich's old master. I think.
No, it's
Nope. Okay.
who?
Google Doc?
Yeah. I don't know. I know it's in the Google Doc because I put it in the Google Doc.
Then I'm bringing that up.
Well, the priest was Donovich.
Yeah, Donovich was the priest.
Yeah.
Donovich was the priest.
Samael was his old master.
Samael.
That's what I just said.
Yeah.
I have it in my notes.
That's it.
It's not.
We know
It's not.
Do you have the Google Doc?
I'm
We're
bringing
doing
it up.
like Wheel of
This
Fortune.
break brought to you.
Hey, can I get a
Samael.
vowel? Like,
This break brought to you by At Dungeons of Doom. Thanks for the dice. At Dungeons of Doom.
Yeah,
What a good ad.
it's his master at the Abbey, but he told us to go and look for someone specific.
Near the Spalish Woods.
What is the name of the Google Doc again?
Who is the?
I've got it.
Who is the?
Spices.
Petrovich is the priest in this.
Velaki.
No.
Balaki?
Yeah.
Petrovich is Velaki, Donovich is Barovia.
I have that written down under Saint Markovia. We're looking for Samael, Father Donovich's old master.
Okay.
There we go.
I trust that. Yep. I
Third
Okay.
time
I
the charm.
put something. No.
Third
I
time's
put
the charm.
something different in the
Yeah,
Google
that's okay.
Docs.
I'm-
So.
That's the name you're going with?
Oh god.
Yeah.
When you say that, it makes me nervous.
No.
Oh,
Elethe,
I
you're the
thought
one
it was
saying it.
something different.
You're the one saying it. It's up to you.
Okay. Hang on.
Leaf has Revivify ready.
Mm.
Wrong.
Disintegrate.
Well, now we
What is your favorite color? Red. No, green. Ah!
Father Pranish? That's what you have in the Google Doc. The Abbey of St. Markovia told to ask for Father Pranish. Amanda?
Okay, where? That's I don't know where I got that from, but I don't remember it being.
Samite?
Okay, I have this written in a bunch of my early notes.
Sam.
You're a good boy, Sam.
Frodo. That's the master.
Don't touch that.
Hey, that was
Wait,
from.
where? It's the map.
Dude, that was fucking
Who
amazing.
has the map?
The map's here.
Okay, where's the
Sorry,
Spanish? That's okay. no,
Jordy.
that's okay.
It's all good. Take your time.
We've like paused
Yeah.
and we're scrolling
No,
through
the
all
Spanish
like,
Woods are
things
right
in
here
Skyrim.
near Kresk, so I assume this is all connected. Okay, I'm just gonna trust my notes.
Do it.
Yeah, I trust your notes.
We're told we could find assistance against the devil here, and we were also looking for another priest of the Dawn Fathers, old master named Samael.
Okay. Give me 1 second because I need to.
I need to look at
You're
my
just
notes.
asking us.
It's been a minute.
Yeah. It's been like.
Where did the word Pranish come from?
He's their apprentice.
This is from like session 2, I think. Though.
Yeah.
That's why I'm like, I gotta refer back. It's been a minute.
And while we're taking this break, why don't you take this time to look at some of our other social media handles, like our Instagram.
Yeah, I've actually got it down as session 6. Master Samuel, Salish Road near Kresk, Edge of Woods near Tull Hill, Very Holy Abbey.
Very
Yeah,
holy
and I got this is
Abbey.
Village Woods, which is what's really near
Very
Kresk.
holy Abbey.
So I think we should be
It
okay.
does
Yeah,
look like
I don't know
place is falling apart,
where I
so
got Pranish.
Oh. No, it was. Father Petrovich told us to ask for Father Pranish at the Abbey. We were told to ask for a different one, by the in Barovia.
So both are true. Everyone wins.
So, sorry, who did you say, though? You said...
I said Samael.
Samwise.
Ah, yes. One of the previous caretakers of the Abbey. He is no longer here.
Well, I guess that's our business.
Where might he be gone?
Well, he is no longer here.
Can I
And
insight
Father-
check that?
Hey,
For what?
when
Like,
we,
if basically he's
It was
insinuating that he
Oh,
killed this
wait,
person.
wait.
Jordy, when that name was said,
Yeah.
can I be just scanning the grounds to see if any of the other
Creatures
respond to that?
To the name?
Yeah.
Sure.
It's a weird ask. So.
Yeah, make a perception check.
A half duck,
No.
half man,
6.
6.
part eagle. Dr.
Look
Lewis.
around.
This ain't you.
You kind of look off to the side and you see the ones that are chained up, and you see the 2 that are roaming free, and the one who's standing basically right beside him, one ear kind of perks.
Well,
And he just kind of like looks over and then just immediately looks down at the ground as if like he didn't hear it. He did not hear that name. He didn't hear that word.
And Father Pranish. We were also. Sorry.
Get nervous there?
Cake stuck in my throat. We were also told to ask after Father Pranish.
I think you're misunderstanding the situation here. You have come to bring me a tribute. You have done so. I appreciate this. But your intentions here are not clear. Asking for names of people who do not live here, who have not been here for some time, I believe it is time for you to leave.
May we not pray to Palor here?
You may. Now.
Okay.
Get to Brian.
We'll just say,
Is that door open behind him?
Behind him? No, it's closed.
Do you have any text to help guide us?
Or would you lead us in prayer?
hit a couple hallelujahs for us.
Make a deception check.
Yeah.
Spectacles, testicles,
With
bulletin watch.
disadvantage, actually, because
Yeah.
you simultaneously don't pray to the Dawnfather, and you've already kind of given yourselves up.
One's cocked.
Yeah.
I mean,
Would have taken
Oh.
that.
Oh,
Well,
one would have been good. Deception, did you say?
Yep.
That's an 8.
Nice. He just kind of looks at you and just. No, I believe words coming from a true follower are always the best prayer to be heard.
Oh, this guy.
Oh, here we go.
And he's just looking directly at you as you ask him that.
And I'm trying to kind of just look back like, okay, can you lead us in prayer?
As the abbot of the abbey, it would be our honor that you would lead us.
As I said, prayer led by a true believer is stronger than any words that I could offer.
So you're not a follower of the Dawnfather.
My convictions are not the ones that are being tested at the moment. I do sense something inside of you that is not of the light. And you can see that his size begins to slightly increase.
Wait, which side? Jordan, no, sorry, guys, I'm sorry. That was a cool moment.
His shoulders get a little broader. His 6'3", 6'4" suddenly grows a little bit. 6'6", 6'8".
Well,
So you get a little bit on the
Can
taller
I
side.
pull my my sword?
Oh, God damn it.
No, not my
No,
sword.
no,
my
no,
shield.
no, no.
My shield, because that has the sign of Paylor on it. Just go like.
Oh my god. We
got this.
have that fucking line that was on the wall in the church,
we do have that line.
and
The
we all
church
remember it.
We
May her
absolutely-
light cure all illness.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're,
No, that was the on this church.
Yeah. Is that what you're talking
Yeah,
about?
It's
Yeah.
on the inside of the shield, guys.
Well, we
Yeah,
have
That's a different.
That's a different one.
yeah, that's different. So
Oh yeah, but you
I'm,
can read what's coming.
I'm
out.
gonna
Yeah.
read
Finish the
aloud.
panel.
You pull the shield out. You kind of place it in front of you, interposed between you and him.
And I'm like, I start reading aloud what it has on it. And I'm kind of like, I take like one step down, kind of into like prayer stance. Yeah. All right. It's written in Celestial, but I'm gonna read it aloud in Common. If you're happy with that, Jordy. Yeah. May we be granted the courage to confess our sins. May we be granted the strength to overcome our burdens. May we be granted the spirit to forgive those who have wronged. May we be granted the light to carry us out of the shadows.
Fuck yeah.
And all of you kind of listening to the words and looking at the figure and kind of glancing off at Hope, trying to see how this is going to land. You notice that the increasing size of the figure pauses for a moment. And Hope, you still kneeled behind the shield, not able to see. The rest of you kind of look at the figure as he looks between all of you. And slowly begins to shrink a little bit back down to the size that he was before, the same, just a little over 6 feet. Shoulders broad, but nowhere near the imposing figure that he had begun to become. Well, that I did not expect. It has been some time since that relic has graced these halls. It is good to see it have been brought back. All right. So, I assume there is some reason that you're here aside from prayer.
We're here to find defense against the devil. If you can offer us any help or assistance, we'll take it.
Good of you to
Gladly.
come out and be honest.
We seek to return this land to the prime material.
I wouldn't worry too much about that, but there is something that you could assist me with in completing that. I'm in search of a dress. Yes, you've heard me correctly.
Not judging me.
There is a task that I should ask that you complete for me, and it will assist with this task that you are attempting to complete.
A dress.
Correct.
Please carry on.
I mean, your robes look so good, though.
Don't worry, I'm gonna tell you
Laura's like,
later.
who's her tailor?
Love that embroidery. But also, like, just for the occasion, dude, you're in a freaking falling apart abbey.
Just trying to be subtle, but you know when you're really not actually being subtle, where you're trying to be like, let's just quiet, close the window a little bit so we can't hear outside, and then I'm like,
The dress is for a bride to the devil. I believe that returning his lost bride may cure his madness. Finding this dress will further convince him that this is his beloved.
he seeks a beloved.
He had a beloved at one point.
As he's like went mad from a broken heart or something.
Didn't we also
What was her name?
A
We know
name.
it, we know it.
I mean, say it out loud. I'm just
We're all
thinking that we
sitting
do
there
already
talking
know
about
what it
each other.
is.
I'm trying to remember what it was actually. It's been a minute.
Don't worry, we take our time to.
We heard that he got driven mad by
It's like one of
pride.
those like Telltale games where there's like the choice thing and everyone's just sitting there like.
I don't think you actually ever got her name.
Okay, that's fine. I thought we remembered we got it, but that I also
Shout out to the note takers.
if we did, I have no idea where
Here,
we
I'll
found
check
out.
the Google Doc one
I've got this
second.
cloud with an ass on my page.
You know who I was thinking it looks like?
Oh.
Calcifer.
Lost his wife? Question mark. So yeah, I don't think we ever got it.
Yeah. I was gonna say, like, looking back for everything,
Billy Crystal.
pretty sure
Yep,
never
no,
got
you're
her name.
right. But we have we've got 2 people that he has.
Didn't we
Like-
find out that that was why he wanted Irina? Is because
Yeah,
she
Irina
looked like
and
his...
then Gertruda.
Okay.
No, Gertrude. I think she was something to do with something else.
Oh.
That was it.
Because
Was
he went and took
Mary's the very first Mary's house. It was her daughter was taken by Strahd.
I think it was just Gertrude.
That's entirely possible. My notes are messy.
Checking.
Command F Gertrude.
No, it is Gertrude. You're right.
Oh yeah, girl.
Yeah, yeet.
Malformed doll has a strange leer and wears a sackcloth dress belonging to Mary in her youth and passed it on to Gertruda when she was a child.
Fucking Gertrude.
Okay.
Now, with Strahd having lost his beloved bride, a suitable replacement had to be found that will cure him of his madness and allow us to return, well, allow you to return to the lands from which you came.
So that means you found a replacement bride?
Of course, all the best parts.
What does
Oh, yo, we got Rocky Horror.
does that mean that the bride is here?
Of course. Would you like to meet her?
I think we'd be interested.
Yes,
to meet her.
absolutely.
Yes.
Very well. Follow me. And he gestures towards the door from which he was summoned.
And he ignored my question about what Strahd's wife's original name was, right?
Mhm.
Okay, god damn it.
Ew.
As he begins to walk, he kind of addresses the question of the original name. We do not want to speak that because it will just remind him of what he has lost. Instead, we will introduce him to Vasilka, the perfect bride for the imperfect man. As he opens the door, and inside, it takes a little bit to adjust, and you do see that there are candles lit up. It is fairly well lit on the interior, but you can see kind of propped up against a wooden board with wooden pegs out underneath the armpits. There is a female-ish figure, but looking closely at it, you can see stitch marks and threads between different parts of bodies that have been amalgamated into the best depiction of a human woman.
Do you know the name Blinsky?
Blinsky. I don't believe so. Does he hail from these lands?
Yeah, he
From
makes toys.
Oh, there is no toy makers in Kraysk, so
No,
I'm not sure.
Valaki.
I have not spent much time in those lands.
So, you think that by presenting Strahd with a new bride, he'll come out of his madness?
Of course, that is the only way to cure the man of his madness. What drove him to be mad shall be replaced, and that shall cure it.
How long have you been planning this plan of yours?
It has been some time. It did take me quite a while to assemble the pieces,
Why did there need to be pieces?
because one person could not live up to the requirements of a man such as him.
How Can I ask how do you know
Don't like
what
this.
requirements
Can we just wash our hands
are
of this
needed?
stuff?
Can you tell us more about how he came to lose his original betrothed?
It is not something that needs to be talked about. The past can be forgotten and buried. What matters is the future.
I just need some help understanding.
There is nothing to understand. This is his future. This will solve everything.
But is this living?
Of course. Vasilka, dance.
Oh no.
And you can see that the arms just kind of
Oh no.
pull off of the
no.
the wooden supports underneath the arms and kind of make its way out into the center of the room. And it's wearing clothing of sorts, kind of tattered pieces. Definitely
Gold
standing about just a little under 6 feet, so a little taller than standard human female you've seen. And begins to do kind of a very slow, like one-sided
Waltz.
Cool.
This guy made
what-
Strahd a real doll. Stop that.
What are you, Abbott?
I am something more.
I am not human myself.
Then we have something in common.
How did you learn to do this?
The Morning Lord has taught me many things. I do what is necessary based on his requirements and based on my own will. All of this was knowledge passed down to me from him.
Directly?
Directly.
You knew Paylor?
I know Palo.
Is he
he a
in this
celestial?
tower?
Or like
Of
part
course
celestial?
not.
or
He resides
something?
on the celestial plane. What would make you think that he had come here? No, he had dispatched me to complete his work.
Just asking a question.
Seems like it.
I think he might be like part celestial, maybe.
Can I talk to him in Celestial?
Do you speak to celestial?
Don't you speak all languages?
No.
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 So I just know what
He
to
understands all languages.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I gotta speak Celestial and like one other
Does
thing.
it sound like bells
That's
ringing?
cool.
So, Celestial, what are you saying?
Are we
Chimes.
safe here?
Which
And you all just hear kind of like an angelic, yeah, emanating from Bless, like something you've never heard of.
Yeah.
And he kind of looks at you and curiously looks at the rest of the group, and they're all just awestruck looking at you.
I'm
and
not.
that same kind of
Been quiet this whole time, too.
response. Of course, my child. There is nothing here that will harm you.
Insight check?
Go for it. See if he's lying.
Finally. Finally get my own.
your very own insight check.
Oh,
Unless it's time to shine.
Is it?
4.
Is it? Please,
I don't know.
Please be your shining time. Shine.
I can't find it.
Shine bright like a diamond.
I give up. It's whatever I rolled.
It's gonna end up being a
I
0.
always think it's 0. I was gonna say 18.
18? You seem to be being pretty honest.
What does this dress look like?
Well, the dress, I don't know particularly what it looks like. It's just a dress. A fine one. The finest dress that you could find.
Can I venture a guess that his
Hold on, sorry. I wanted to keep talking for
Oh, sorry.
I was doing that
Sorry.
stuff.
In Celestial.
Just like before the one thing,
Yeah.
again in Celestial, is there anything that you can give us to aid us on this quest of yours?
No. Prove to me that you are worth aiding, and perhaps you will receive something in return.
Okay, that's it.
We could help this guy.
We don't know this. This is for
sorry,
Les to
Alora, we
tell
can't
us.
Just can we do a quick trip?
It's gone.
what? Yeah.
Oops, we had a new patron.
Yankees.
I don't remember what I was gonna say.
No? Okay.
Someone's about to multi-class into a celestial warlock.
I don't remember what I was going to say, so someone else
Oh,
can. I forget entirely.
So just the finest dress we can find is what you seek.
Of course. The finest dressed for the finest woman.
Anyone got any thoughts about this?
May I ask, what are the qualities that you want her to embody that would make her Strahd's perfect wife? We haven't seen much of the man yet. We'd like to find a dress that fits her personality and what he might be looking for.
Choker.
It's like a black corset and fishnet.
Basically, the underworld costume.
Yeah.
That, like, Kate
It's just
Beckinsale
Kieran
wears.
or Kate. Yeah, you know the one.
Strahd has always been drawn to power. The woman in his life should be as powerful as he.
So red.
I was gonna say leather.
Red.
You know who has a dress
Uh,
that we
So-
could take? Lady Fiona wants.
You say she's more powerful than Strahd?
As powerful.
Or as powerful as Strahd?
It is what is required.
And Palo told you that this is what is required.
Of course.
And Vasilka. She's a powerful woman.
She is.
Excuse me for my potential ignorance, but is a powerful woman someone who can be controlled? You told her to dance and she danced. Does that make her
Vasilka is
powerful?
still learning etiquette. She's learning the proper ways of doing things. When the time comes, she will be able to do these things on her own. For now, she requires a small amount of assistance. Vasilka sit.
What
And
does
she just kind of like
she
and
look
falls
like?
down into a
Oh,
chair
boy.
and like the head kind of sloughs off to the side.
Like, does her face have any kind of like spark of consciousness or recognition in it at all? What and like
There is some. The eyes are very sunken, like mismatched colors. You can see one eye is like maybe a little bigger than the other two. There is definitely recognition in the words that are being spoken, but more recognition is commands that must be followed.
do we recognize any of any of the people that she's made out of?
That she's made out of, you don't.
Okay.
It's everyone's backstory.
So if you are teaching her, if I were to ask her to stand, she would stand?
You may try, if you have the will.
Vasilka, would you like to stand?
There's no response.
Vasilka, stand.
And he just kind of looks over and nods, and she just
Oh God.
pulls herself up off the chair, and you can see like some of the stitches just kind of and break slightly, and the parts of the arm start to fall off, and he just a work in progress, and goes over and begins to re-stitch the arm pieces back together.
There are daggers coming from over his head.
The
Eyes.
creatures
Back
outside,
inside, yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
they there were people said to have gone missing here.
Yes. The
Prayer,
people.
prayer supplicants.
Yes. Of course, there had to be sacrifices made to attain a greater goal. And he gestures towards her.
I see. So the creatures in the courtyard are all the supplicants of Pelor.
Those protectors of the abbey were some of the previous residents. Ones who attempted to flee and were stopped.
By
They
you.
had a duty to the abbey, and they chose to ignore that duty and had to be punished accordingly
By you.
by the Morning Lord,
I see.
by his power.
I see.
I've only started learning more about the Morning Lord, but he did not seem like a vengeful being.
Of course not. He is the giver of life, as he has done here.
So why would he take life?
The will of the Morning Lord is executed by his followers, by his servants. Giving life often requires sacrifice. Ending the suffering of all sometimes must be attained by ending the suffering of some.
That's some hard, lawful good bullshit.
You know what? I can't disagree, but
Now, are you going to try and find this dress? Or do I need to find someone else?
What were to happen, hypothetically, if we said no?
You have proven yourselves, in one manner or another, to be devout followers. As Vasilka is mostly complete, no tribute beyond what you have already paid should be required.
I don't know, guys. I think we take him up on this and then we come back and
Yeah, when we're tougher.
I mean, we might be able to take him.
Did you have any
No.
suggestions of any shops to go to?
I mean,
Is there a JC Penny around or anything?
we found some
A
good ones in Milwaukee.
handcrafted dress. Only the finest silks for the finest figure. And he kind of like strokes the semi-non-existent hair that's been like stitched onto the top of her head.
Do you have our measurements to give us?
Of course. And he provides them.
Yeah. I mean,
Kind of reminds me of like the creepy scientist guy in The Nightmare Before Christmas.
oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah, like I was exactly thinking Sally.
Yeah.
28, 34, 36.
How many did you buy?
28, 32.
At it, I would, before we leave, I would love to walk through is it called a graveyard? Cemetery. The cemetery, just to leave a few blessings at the graves, if that's okay.
Make persuasion check.
Thank you. 13.
13. Paying grievance is difficult. I do understand, of course. Please. And he gestures over to the kind of dog-ish man that was near you. Excuse me. Otto, escort. And he just kind of, yeah.
Is this the one whose ears perked up when we mentioned Samael?
Breakthrough.
Can I, Abbott, as a doctor, would you mind if I just took a closer look at the silk? I admire fine handiwork, and I'd just like to take a quick peek and see the ability that you have.
This storyline is troubling.
Of course.
I don't like it.
Why did we
Just don't break anything. I wouldn't have to. I wouldn't feel like needing to ask for replacements from you.
I don't intend to.
leaf clutches his butt?
So I would like to just take a quick look over Vasilka,
Sure.
specifically for weaknesses in stitching.
Okay. The stitching overall is very well done. It looked like there was maybe one piece that you saw previously where she stood up at a bit of a sharp angle that tore on the right bicep. But having that be stitched up and re-sewn together, it is definitively secure in place, and is, based on your experience as well, not only as a doctor but as a magic wielder, beyond a normal stitching. These appear to be magical stitches of some kind that are holding the pieces together and therefore forming some kind of, not consciousness, but some kind of being that is able to function as a humanoid would.
Any concept of what the origin of that energy might be?
Origin of the energy? Magic.
But like celestial or infernal or...
At first glance, no real ways for you to tell. There's no runes carved on the body, at least not on the exterior. You would imagine potentially on the interior, maybe on the undersides of some of the bits of skin, but that would be about it.
Okay. Yeah, I'm good. I just wanted to see if there were weaknesses to exploit later.
Alright.
While we're here in this tower, it took us quite some time to get in here. Would you be alright if we had a look around, just marvel at it?
Make a persuasion check.
Nice.
Where's the fucking thing? Perception? No. Perceptions? No.
There
Is
you
it?
go.
That's always 0.
18.
18.
It's because you try to do things that are not your skill set.
So you
That's
kind
what
of,
makes me so unique.
you kind of just, with all the conversations and the clear interest in Vasilka, he kind of relents a little bit and kind of softens. And you can see he actually shrinks down even a little bit more, just maybe a little under 6 feet at this
You
point.
keep complimenting
And
Toxic masculinity.
and he just kind of, as long as you don't steal anything, of course. My home is your home.
We're gonna find a flying carpet.
Yeah.
Not
There are no
stealing.
tapestries hanging on.
Damn it! Cave of Wonders.
Oh my god.
Cool. I'm gonna go walk upstairs.
Okay.
Can we?
So, I think this is going to be where we break it for today.
Oh.
Starting next week with you able to search the grounds as you so choose. You heading off to the cemetery to find whatever that light was, that beacon shining down.
Touch
I'll go
nothing
with
but
you.
the lamb.
Yeah, so Otto is going to be following you. And, yeah, so that was a...
Creepy storyline.
Deeply unsettling.
Why the fuck did we go up there?
Because we wanted to find out what the church guys were
Oh, it's
talking
so
about.
icky.
And you were given a way out. And, oh no, we want to look around.
Yeah.
I keep looking.
Okay, has anyone seen the movie Prophecy with Christopher Walken as the fallen angel Gabriel?
No, but that
It's very
sounds
good.
intriguing.
It's very cheesy and 90s, and it's pretty much what I'm picturing this entire time.
I'm going to recommend we murder this guy sooner or later.
Yeah, eventually.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And
A
how?
fallen angel. That's an interesting description.
Yeah.
Well, with that, thank you everybody for sitting at the table. Thank you guys for watching. Yeah, that was a
Jordy.
pretty fun one.
Icky.
I'm excited for next
Very
week.
atmospheric.
Oh yeah, that's. But to be like, this was a great session. You got a lot done. You went from 2 different places. You already passed through the village, knowing that there's not much there. This is gonna be a good one to follow up with next week.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Cool. All right, thanks everybody. We will see you.
Thanks,
in
y'all.
1 week.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.